give me 1 sec and we'll be getting started. Good morning. Hang on, I'm logging on my computer too. Got a couple more minutes. We're just gonna wait for people. Here we go. Hello from Canada. Hi, Miss Lori. And Miss Leslie and Miss Regina. Whoops. Let me close that out. I had an echo there. We're going to be stitching. You know, it's just a sew along, so I'm just going to be stitching and walking you through my process. Hello, Miss Deanna and Betsy. Virginia's in the house. California. So, I'm going to grab a couple of other things. There's a bag again. Some little tools. Have a sip of my coffee. Where's my little bobbin boat? I'm going to use a whole bunch of like just leftover bobbins that have been here forever. Ooh, there's another one. Where's my bobbin boat? You know that something that's nice is you can wind a bobbin on, if you have a bobbin winder on the top of your machine, you can wind a bobbin while you're stitching, which I always talked about, but I'd never done. I was scared to do it. And then when I did it for the first time, I was like, oh, it really does work. So I'm going to be, let me move this out of the way. You need a good hooping area. And I mean, I have a Martelli table and I use that. What are we working on? That's a good question. So what we're working on is we are going to be working on, is this my sample? That's my edge. Yeah, this is my sample. We're going to be stitching, no, this is my edge to edge. That's next week. Next week, edge to edge. We're going to be working on this. And this is Zippy Bags 4, and it is the right side, meaning the right-hand side of the panel. And I'm just going to be quilting using designs that are built into the machine. And I was like blown away at how many amazing designs are built into the machine where you don't even have to go anywhere. You get more built-ins as you move up in the line. So the Stellar, Altair, Meridian, those have a couple of designs that are built in. Then when you go to the Luminaire and the Solaris, you're going to have even more built-in designs. And then when you go to the Avenir and Radiance, you're going to have a ton of built-in designs. I was really blown away at all the built-ins. Like this here is a built-in design. This like kind of feathery design right here. And this here with this had like hearts and flowers. It's so cute. Built-in design. I did end up doing something in, I couldn't help myself. I went into Design Center and I stitched something out. We're not going to do that today. And then I did use I think I used a clear blue tile design. So I did put it on there that if you didn't have built-in designs, to have some other designs kind of prepared and ready to go. I did print this out as well. And it just didn't show up very good. But on your supply list, it said in there, and this was for Brother, for the baby lock machines, you had to go into the baby lock site. I provided this information for the Brother machines. If you go to support.brother.com, there's so much information there. That's where you can get all the manuals. That's where you get all your updates. And then you need to search by your model number. So I put in the model numbers of the machines that I was thinking that people might be working on today. And then click manuals, go to embroidery design guide, and then you can print out your design guide, because it's not printed out for the Luminaire and Solaris, and then the Avenir and the Radiance. And for the XJ2, this is for like the Stellar, the Altair. These were the pages that you were going to have. I went through everything and put it all there in your supply list, like what designs you could do. And I said, I encourage you to look through the entire embroidery design guide. There's so many beautiful built-in designs. Okay, other supplies that you're going to be needing for today. I am going to do one hooping. Oh, hang on a second. Hey, Patrick, can you grab my phone for me? I'm going to do one hooping with Design Snap. So if you are on the Altair or the Stellar or the Meridian, I'm going to show you how to use Design Snap so you can take a picture of your zippy bag in the hoop, and then we can send it over the machine for perfect placement. And then while we're doing that, for people that have the Luminaire and the Avenir, and when I say that, I'm talking also about the Solaris and the Radiance. You guys have a camera, so you're going to just take a picture with your scan button in embroidery. So you're going to do that. And then we're just going to go ahead and quilt this. I think it took me, and that was with filming, I think it took me about 2 hours to do this. Might take us a little bit longer just to get started. Some of you already know how to do what we're doing. So just take this time to stitch with us and put some time aside to prep this, because when you are done, so these are our zippy bags. And what you were supposed to have, this is my backing fabric. I cut it 36 inches wide by, I can't even remember how long it was. I don't even know if I measured. I just laid it down and then cut it. Here's Zippy Bags 4. I don't want you to, we're going to quilt 3 of these, and you're going to leave the other ones, because Michelle's going to take you on a journey once I'm done with you. So I am prepping you for Michelle's class. Her class is going to be a paid for class, but she's going to take you from what we're doing today, the quilting. She's going to take you from these quilted panels, and this is Zippy Bags Reimagined. Because these are meant to just be like a little fold over, zip on the top, but you're going to be doing this with Michelle. And this is going to be with the vinyl, and then with the rickrack. I just got all my rickrack. This has some glitter vinyl in it. I think you're going to have to provide the glitter vinyl, but we're going to do all the other stuff. The little dingle dangles, the zipper, the cute rickrack, the stuff that hangs, the hardware, all of that we're putting in into a kit for you. So that's going to be step 2. So today's class is all about prepping the fabric, so you'll be ready to go for that. And people are like, when are we going to do that? We probably won't do this until like the very end of March or the very beginning of April. You'll do these with Michelle. Or you can do whatever you want with them. Once you're done with them, you're ready to go. You have it sandwiched and you have the fabric on the back, and then you can do whatever you want with them. Okay? All righty. You can cut it, put your zipper in, sew it together, just throw it on the serger. Everything is quilted and ready to go. Okay, So, the other thing I did do, hang on, let me make sure it's here. Whoops. Sorry. Give me just a second. I did put some designs on a USB. The Avenir is finicky. It does not like every USB. It's kind of like, it only likes certain ones. I know it loves my SanDisk, so that's always what I use. Can we still order it? Absolutely, Miss Annetta. You want to order the panel? You can still order the panels. I'm out of the zippers right now. But we're and the little notions dingle dangle kits. I thought I had everything, but we didn't have all the zippers. So I'm still waiting for some of the zippers to come in. So, but with this, I put on some built-in designs because we will do, not a built-in designs. I put on, some designs from Kimberbell, and I loaded, I think, one of the best quilting bundles. So when they have a big sale and you want to get a quilting bundle because you want to splurge and you want to use those designs, one of the best ones to get is going to be red, white, and bloom. And what I love about red, white, and bloom is it has a lot of generic designs. So it's going to have like geometric and wave, and I didn't print them out, but it has a lot of generic designs that you can use in all quilts. It's kind of like clear blue tiles. Here's my clear blue tiles. I love the Essentials kit, and it's going to have a bunch of designs that come with it that are like fairly generic. Like, I mean, they do have like a winter, there's winter, spring, swirls, border swirls, bitty blocks, but you can use them for a lot of different things. A lot of the design packs that they come out with are very specific towards a project, and I love those too. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love them. I keep saying, I'm not going to buy that. I have so many, and then there's something in there where I can't resist. So, Red, White, and Bloom from Kimberbell, that design pack, has so many great designs that you can use with everything. So that's a good one to get. I did put those on my USB, and I'm going to probably pull one of those today. What size designs should you have? On the supply list, I put on here 9.5 by 9.5 and 2.5 by 4.5. So we're going to use, like what I used for this is I did one 9.5 by 9.5 down here in the bottom square. And then I did a 9.5 by 9.5 up in the upper square, and I did size it a little bit. Okay. And then the 2.5 by 4.5, those are the ones that I'm going to be using up here. And I did this half. Yeah. So I did this half. You're going to want to leave these because if you look, you don't want it to be too bulky. But I think Michelle used some of those. I think she's going to use some of those to create these little tabs. And so you don't want it all quilted and bulky. Like this one is quilted, and you're going to use like this little clamp like thing, key ring thing. This one was not. So we want to have you have a some that are quilted, some that are not. Alrighty. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to do a hooping with my design center. If you've never used my design center, don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how to do it. We are going to take a picture. So if you are using the regular hoops, so I'm going to put this to the side. I'll put it over my chair. And you know what happens? I start looking for it. I'm like, where is it? And then it's on the chair behind me. I start to panic. Okay. When I am using the regular hoops, and sometimes with the snap hoops too, and I don't want this to budge when I go to hoop, I will put double-sided basting tape or double-sided tape on the back of this. And I threw mine in. Where did I throw it? In here. In here, in here. Okay, here it is. And this is just a frame so it doesn't budge and move around. But if you are using the 9.5 by 14, you're going to see when you go to frame it, there's not a lot of room on either side. You see there's like about half an inch. I don't even know if there's half an inch. So you don't want it to move around. You have about half an inch of no-sew. So it's okay to use the 9.5 by 14. But if you can do the 10.5 by 16, it's going to give you a little bit more room. And I'm going to, after I do this hooping, I'm going to switch over to this hoop. And if you want a 10.5 by 16 snap hoop, I have them on order, but it gives you about an inch of space instead to do your hooping and to move your design around if you need to. So let me move these. I'm going to do a little management of my space. And the reason I'm going to do this is I am going to do design snap right now. I'm going to start with the bottom, and I'm going to start with the bottom left, and then we're going to just work our way up. Let me go ahead. I didn't even, I went ahead and just smoothed my fabric on. I didn't even spray baste or anything. I wouldn't, it's like the batting's pretty grippy. And especially when we go to use our snap hoop, I want to be able to kind of pull and tug. You want about 6 inches all the way around. And I use all of this, so it never stresses me out. I don't feel wasteful. I'm going to be using all of this. We're going to do this square right down here. We're going to start with this one, and then we're going to do this, 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 and so on and so forth. Any questions so far? You guys doing okay? Hopefully you're doing all right. Let's go. All right. So with this hoop, and I use this when we do edge to edge, we're going to use this. I'm just going to use this for this one hooping just to keep my hoop in place. You do not need to do this. Your tape gets ruined the first time that it hits the batting. And I'm just going to take, this is Clover. It used to be called Nancy Zeman double-sided basting tape, but it kept that name for a while after she passed away. So I'm just going to put about 3 inches down here. It is the best basting tape as far as I'm concerned. Please do not use something like Scotch double-sided tape. It is awful, and it gets stuck all on your hoop. Actually, you know what? I can't say that. I just know that there's other tapes that are so awful and hard to get off. I had somebody that was using it. It looked like Scotch tape, and that's why I'm saying it, but I don't know for sure if that's what she was using. And you cannot, it took us like an hour to try and get it off of one hoop. This stuff is great. Once you're done, you can kind of just pull it on one side and then pull it back. So I like to, with my fingernail, kind of push it down in that corner and then grab that corner, and it's going to leave your tape right here. I don't know if you can see, it's going to be a little bit glossy. And then I'm going to do that right here. And yes, you can use any hoop that you want that's going to be big enough. And if you're doing this and you have like an 8 by 12, you can do this too. You're just going to be quilting in the middle section. And I can show you how to find the center. But you want to hoop pretty square. All right. So I'm just going to put this right in the very center. I'm just looking right here. I think this is, oh no, you know what? That's not even. This is probably even right here. So I'm going to put this right here on the left and the right. I want that to be kind of in the middle. I'm kind of eyeballing it too. And make sure this is nice and taut. I'm going to pull that down a little bit because you can't pull top and bottom. Once the tape is pulled down, you're not going to be pulled. And then I'm going to just push it down right where the tape is. That's going to just hold my hoop in place for me to slide the other one under. Here we go. I'm just going to grab this hoop, slide it under. I'm going to open it up a little bit. Will this 16-inch hoop fit this? It does not. You are limited to the throat space, you know, when you put your hoop on, and there's not enough throat space for the 10.5 by 16. The price, Joyce, you don't have one? I could have sworn you had one of those. The 10.5 by 16, the price went up to, the The price went up to $319.99. I know that's ridiculous. I think that's the price for the 9.5 by 14 and the 10.5 by 16. If you're watching this live feed and you're doing this class with me today, I'll do it for $229.99. So $229.99 is going to be the price, and you can just put in there live feed Zippy bag price. I am sold out right now, and they are on back order, so I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to have them, but I have some on order. Okay, this is going to hold it there. So now I can just go ahead and lift this up, slide it under. It just helps you with the hooping. I like to do the top first and then work my hands down. And it popped out, which means I need to maybe open my hoop up a little more. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to open it up a little bit more. Okay. All right. You're not going to be able to pull up here and here because the tape is holding it in place. But I can go ahead and pull it on my sides. Okay, I'm going to walk my hands around and make sure that the hoop's flush, that the inner hoop is flush with the outer hoop. And then I'm going to take my hoop tightener, which I just found and then promptly lost. Dun, 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 dun. There was one in here and I grabbed it. Sorry, shoulder view. Shoulder. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Sometimes I feel like I can't find stuff right in front of my face. All right, right here, get one of these. My favorite, so we sell a couple of these on the website, and a lot of times I'll reach out to you and be like, did you mean to order that one? So there's one that's for the low shank machines and one that's for the high shank machines. This is actually for the screw on the low shank machine, but it works perfectly on this too. There's a little screwdriver on the inside. You just put it on here till it catches, and it's so much easier using your whole hand to tighten it than it is to try and use your fingertips right here. So get one of these. The one I use, this one, it's CNADS. Is it CNADS too? So it's the advanced screwdriver, and it's going to look green, I think, on the website. But this is my favorite. They're black now, so when you get it, it's going to be black. Okay, bobbins. What's the question, Miss Donna, on the bobbins? Good afternoon from Florida. On the bobbins. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, you're going to have some fabric management. I'm just going to go ahead and put this onto them. Oh, wait, before we do that, we're going to do design step. All right, ready? So let me get my phone. I have an Android. I am not very good at it. I struggle to get around, but I know how to find my apps. And so if you have a baby lock and you have and this is only for people that are using the positioning hoops. If you have the built-in camera, have a sip of your coffee, watch. You can put it in right now and take a picture of it with your camera button. But if you are on a baby lock, you're going to use IQ positioning, okay? And this is if you're on, I think the Stellar, the Meridian, and the Altair. If you're on the Brother, you are going to put in My Design Snap. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to touch My Design Snap. I'm already connected to my machine. I know that my Avenir that I'm on today is sewing machine 248. And I'm just going to be doing this. I'm going to be taking a picture. I'm not working in Design Center today. We're going to be in embroidery today. We are just using embroidered quilting designs to quilt. That's all we're doing today. So I'm going to take a picture and then I'm going to send it to the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that. We're going into embroidery. Wait, what did it say? Can be used for the machine without it. Please use the built-in camera of your machine to scan the image. Okay, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Why isn't it working? Okay. Connected. Snap picture. Ah! Patrick! Hey, Patrick. Why won't this let me send to the machine? Okay, maybe I won't be showing you this. Hey, Patrick.
I'm coming.
248. I want to show them Design Snap. I can still send it to this with the positioning.
Is the machine connected?
Yeah. Machine 248.
Okay.
I didn't.
You're sure that's not your machine?
I'm sure. It says Sewing Machine 248 connection guidance. And wireless LAN is on. Network. Is this? Yeah. Is this connected? This is connected to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, quit hitting guidance.
Why?
Well, so you're connected. So
yes.
Back out. So what are you trying to do?
We want to take a picture with the positioning frame. And then I'm getting this. Can be used for the machines.
Okay.
Oh! Please use... Oh! Okay, did you see that? I was reading it and not paying attention. I can't use Design Snap on the Avenir. It says, snap frame can be used for the machine without a built-in camera. And then please use the built-in camera of your machine to scan your image. So because my machine, the Avenir, has a built-in camera, I can't do this. But if you are, let's just do this. Let's talk our way through. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes when I panic, I can't think. So if you have the other machine, you're going to use this. It's going to allow you to go ahead and do this and take a picture and send it to your machine if you have more than one. So that's it. I just needed to read, stop, and think. Okay, so let's imagine that I was able to do it. Once you're done, once you guys that do have this are able to, go ahead and send the image up. It's automatically going to load when you put the design in. So I'm going to take this over. I'm still going to use the hoop for this because we are hooped up. Let's go over to the machine. And I'm just YouTube living. I'm just doing this on my phone today. So we're going to just be swapping over. Very low tech. Here we go. And I'm going to just slide this on. Let me see. It knows you have a camera. And that's why, yeah, Betsy, if I had only stopped to read your message. Okay. There's a lot of finagling. If my camera gets hit, I'm so sorry. But check the back. Make sure the back looks smooth. You don't want it to have big old wrinkles. I'm going to go out of here. Clear my screen. And if you want to clip, you can clip. This is just going to hang over the back of my table, so I'm not too worried about that. But manage your fabric. Once we do the snap hoop, we'll just leave it on and just move our fabric around. All right. Whoops. So let's go for a little tour. You're going to see some of the designs that are in the machine. All right. So I'm going to go into embroidery. And I'm going to move. I can't see any comments or anything right now. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. If you have more than one sign on. How did you pick your back fabric? Oh, it's just another Lori Holt fabric. I just went over to where we had our fabric this morning. I wanted to do everything last night, and I forgot my panel here. So I came in early this morning, walked over to where we had Lori Holt fabric, and I was like, "Oh, that one's pretty," and I grabbed it. That was it. There really wasn't much thought. I was like, "Oh, there's blues in this. That'll go," and it's Lori Holt, so it'll all go. All right. We're going to go in. So we're not going anywhere down here. We're just going to go into your regular embroidery designs. Unfortunately, I don't have a baby lock here, so I can't remember where it is in there. But if we go in this first folder, you're going to see that there is a folder here, O1, that has quilt. And there are a bunch of quilting designs. So I love that one. I think I used that one too at some point. You're going to have long ones that you could use for like big borders. This is different than I'll just split quilt sashing or edge to edge. This has nothing to do with that. I use these for the little ones, and they were like a triple stitch, which I wasn't excited about, but then afterwards I was like, "Ooh, that looked really good." So just keep going. And then down at the bottom, when I get together with people next week and we do edge to edge, I love feathers. Feathers are like my favorite. This is the one that I'm going to do right now. It's stitch 071, and it is, let me see. It has the hearts and it has like the little flowers on it. But when we get together next week for our edge to edge modified built-in designs, we're going to be using this design right here. Just a built-in stitch 070. So I'm just going to go ahead and load this one right now. Just happens to be 9.81 inches by 9.81 inches. We're going to go ahead and set it. And then we're going to take a picture. So depending on your machine, if you have like a Destiny or a Dream machine, as soon as you hit that camera button, it's going to start scanning. But on this machine, you're going to get the option to touch the button, touch scan. The frame's going to move. Make sure that you have a lot of space, that you're not going to be hitting anything before you hit the button. If ever you're scanning or you're embroidering and this hits something, just assume you've knocked your design off calibration, turn the machine off and on again, okay? So we have lots of room here, so I'm just going to go ahead and say okay. I'm going to manage my fabric as we go, make sure nothing gets in the way, and we are off to the races. And if you've never used your camera before, oh my goodness. I gotta tell you, it's one of my favorite features of the machine. So here we go. On the Luminaire and the Avenaire, and like I said, when I say that, I also mean the Solaris and the Radiance. Wait, does it have this? Does the Luminaire, I can't even remember if it has contrast. I can't remember. You're gonna have contrast here, so I can actually turn the contrast down. So you can turn it down where you can see the design more, or you can turn it up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it down all the way. You could save your scan if you wanted. And what I'm going to do right now is once I have the contrast set, I'm going to hit close and I'm going to go ahead and edit. So I'm going to go ahead and move this design with my finger a little bit. I always tell people finger for general placement, arrows for precision. So let's go ahead. This is your button that is going to size. So I'm going to go ahead and size that. And I think I want to squeeze it a little to fit it in. And I'm going to stretch it a little bit to fit it in too. So instead of hitting the equidistantly shrink or grow it, I'm going to go ahead and hit my up arrows. And maybe here's your move too. You've got move down here on the bottom. So I'm going to scoot it down the tiniest bit, and then I'm going to squeeze it a little bit. Here's my squeeze it in. Whatever it shows you on the buttons, and maybe move it to the right a little bit. And I'm gonna undersew a little bit just to make sure. I don't want it, I definitely don't want it going over into this other embroidery, but if you're over the edges anywhere around here, that's okay. You're just gonna trim it down. But if you look at mine, I'm gonna be just inside the square, just the tiniest bit. That looks good to me. I'm gonna say, okay, we're ready to embroider. And that's how easy it is to custom quilt. And you have some great designs built into your machine. So I'm gonna go embroidery. Sorry, I was hitting the embroidery button in the very bottom. Don't start stitching, because if you look, my needle's right in the middle. That is not where it's going to start. So what you want to do is you want to go right here to this button where you can go forward and backward stitches. I'm going to go to stitch number 1. So I'm going to hit the number 1, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to let you watch over here. I hit +1. That's where it's actually going to start stitching. So if you were to bring your thread up in the middle, it's just going to drag it around. I'm using this thread, which I absolutely love. I'm almost done with it. It is Mirage 38. This is old. This is probably at least 10 years old. I try to buy more of it, but it's different now. It's not even the same 38. So, anyways, I'm going to pop this in. You can use whatever bobbin you want. I'm just using up bobbins. We are going to bring up our bobbin thread, okay? You want to bring up your bobbin thread so you don't have a big old rat's nest. Anytime I'm quilting in the hoop, I bring up my bobbin thread. How did you pick your oh, no other messages. You guys is everyone stitching? Anyone stitching with me? I'm going to hold this in one hand. I'm going to touch my needle down, needle up button. And I'm not even going to really pull. I'm going to reach underneath my foot because you want those threads to stay under the foot. So I'm going to reach under here, grab, and I'm going to pull both. And if you need to, get a pair of tweezers. And if you have to pop them up, you can pop them up, but then you want to rethread your upper thread down through the eye of the needle. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this, and here we go. And then we're going to rehoop. Don't be tempted to reach underneath there. Have your little spatulas. I know a lot of people have ordered these. They've been sold out. I will be restocked. I think it said March 6th. I'm still waiting. What size did you resize the design to? I'm going to have to... It says here 10 by 9.22. But if you have a camera, you just want to really do it based on your scan. So cute. Oh my God, it's adorable. I love custom quilting. I gotta tell you, when the Luminaire came out and the Solaris, and they were so excited that it had the 10.5 by 16 inch hoop. I don't want to say I was bummed, but I was like, ugh, why do we need such a big hoop? Like, I don't embroider and do huge, big embroideries. But when I started custom quilting, I was like, oh my goodness, yes, give me a big hoop. Give me a bigger hoop. I want a big old hoop. But I use the hoop for the job. So the 10.5 by 16 inch hoop is the best hoop for this, I think, because you don't want it to be too big. You want it to be big enough. This, you have to be careful. You know, you don't have a lot of room, so you have to be really careful with your hooping. For like the placemats that Dana did the other day, she used the 11.5 by 18. It fits a whole placemat. So it's the right hoop for the job. So you just want to choose the right hoop for the job. So on the Stellar, I would need to find other designs to download. So there are a couple of designs. So there's some built-in designs, Naomi, that you can use. There wasn't a huge selection of them. That's all I'm saying. So if you want to look through, I gave you the pages that have the quilt designs. That's in the supply list. So look at those, and if there's just like 2 of them and you're good with those 2, just use those 2, but you might want to get some other designs. It doesn't have a ton of built-in ones. This is so cute! I love quilting in the hoop. I love it, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I love that you can just do this project yourself. You know, I've done free motion quilting. I'm not very good at it. Maybe I could get good at it if I practiced. I just love this because it looks so beautiful and I don't have to practice and I can just buy the designs that I want and I can just throw it in the hoop. Yeah, so that's going to be what you're limited to. And so, there's so many places you can get designs. Designs by Juju's, I think, has an excellent selection. And I mean, Kimberbell. If you've been doing Kimberbell projects, you have a huge selection of designs. And what you're going to do is you're going to do clear blue tiles. Clear blue tiles is going to skip all of the placement and all of that stuff. And it's just going to be the design. I actually can't remember if I put clear blue tiles on my USB, but I will be using a Kimberbell design today. Okay, we're going to rehoop. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my my snap hoop on, and I'm going to be using my snap hoop for the rest of this. If you don't have a snap hoop, you're just going to take this out. You're going to go to your hooping station, and you're just going to rehoop. So let me move this back a little bit. I'm going to pop this out. When we do edge to edge, even though I'm using my snap hoops on Wednesday, I promise Miss Sheila, Miss Barbara, I'm going to get the edge to edge up for this Stellar and the Altair people. And it'll also be for people that have an 8x12 if you want to use that too. So, hang on. Okay, I'm putting away my positioning hoop and I'm getting my snap hoop. And you can do this with the 9.5 by 14. I'm going to use the 10.5 by 16 because I can, because my machine's going to accommodate that. When I'm doing my snap hoop, rite of passage. At some point with your snap hoop, you're going to give yourself a good old blood blister. And then you're going to be like, oh, I didn't like that. Oh, I'm going to change my bobbin and put a color in. Let me change my bobbin out. This is a good time to check your bobbin. See if you like the color that's in there. See if you have enough thread. I'm going to just pick this. What is this? I'm just using up what I have. I have a variegated like pink and red. I'm just going to use this. Here we go. There's so many colors in this. I feel like you could just use whatever. Okay. Bottom snap hoop. Where'd I put you? Oh, there goes my quilt. I'm going to slide this on. I'm going to leave it on. And now I'm going to do the top portion of the one that we just did. And I haven't looked at comments. 5 or so to pick from. Yeah, absolutely. The 10.5 by 16 fits the luminaire. And I think the 5.5 by 16 and the 9.5 by 14 are the ones that I use the most. But yeah, that 11.5 by 18 is so big and beautiful. But it's a lot. It's a big hoop, so I'm going to use that when I need it. Okay. Make sure nothing's curled under. The last thing you want to do is be like, oh, I'm done. And then you turn it over and there's a corner stitched down. Right? We've all had that happen. So you can feel. I can feel right here and right here. I can feel where the hoop edge is. And you want... So I'm going to... Right now, what I'm going to quilt is I'm going to quilt the top section. which is really the front of the bag. The front where the zipper goes and then where this is. And if you're going to just do this traditional zippy bag style, you would just quilt it and then you could cut it apart. And if you have a serger, throw it on the serger so you have beautiful finished edges. So I have about 3 inches on the top and 2 inches on the bottom. Bring it down just the littlest bit. And I'm going to grab my, I call this the lid. So your snap hoop should be completely flat. You shouldn't have it this way where you can see the little lip. This is the underside. And I always put this, I always hoop so that's on the right hand side so I can use that to lift it up. When I put it on, I'm going to slip one corner under. Let's try to get this. I can tell. And I put it up on the top on my machine when I need both my hands. I'm just feeling for the hoop underneath. Okay, hinge it. And what I mean by that is right over here, I'm going to lay down the left side of my hoop. I'm going to kind of hinge it. Make sure I'm going to feel, like I can feel the other hoop right under here. And then you're just going to, instead of lowering it slowly, you're going to get it a couple inches off and you're just going to drop it. If you don't, you're going to get, what happens is people lower it slowly. That's how they get a blood blister because the bottom hoop is what gets them. The bottom hoop jumps up and it'll get you. Okay. And now you're just going to pull the wrinkles. Pull them out. You're the boss. You can manipulate your hoop. Oh, you know what? Hang on. I was doing edge to edge. This isn't going to work with this. See, here's leftover tape, so it's not going to let me move it around that well. So I'm going to just grab it and just pull it off. Okay? So you want to remove that. This, last time I was doing this was for my edge to edge prep. And so I love this stuff because it comes off pretty easily. They don't all come off easily. I was like, why isn't this moving? Okay, here we go. Let's put it back. I don't embroider with my snap. I know some people use them all the time. I prefer to use my regular hoops, like my other Brother magnetic hoops. But for quilting, that's when I feel like the snap hoops really shine because it's just one magnet top and bottom. So I'm just going to grab that. Now I'm going to grab front and top and bottom and pull outward. And sometimes I'll just take a little peek underneath and just make sure, or I'll put my hands under here, just make sure everything's nice and smooth. And I think I'm good. Outward, just pull outward. And then again, make sure the upper hoop is on top of the lower hoop. All right, we're ready. Guess what? Take a picture. So I'm going to come over here. Let me see if you have any questions. Are you recording this? Yes. Well, I'm doing anything we do YouTube live automatically renders and goes up, which reminds me, my serger people, I forgot to send out your video last night. I will do it after this class is over. I was in bed and I thought about it. Why didn't I send it? Oh, I think I had loaded it to YouTube and I was waiting. Okay, finished embroidering. I'm going to use the same design on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. You can take a picture from your edit page and your layout page. The camera button is still there. The thing you can't do in your layout page is you can't size. And I might have to size, so I'm just going to go from this screen to the previous screen by hitting return. This is my layout screen. This is the screen from which I stitch out. The previous screen is the main edit screen, so I'm going to hit return and it's going to take me there. That's my main edit screen. It's important to know what's where. So I'm going to go ahead and take a picture. Notice the other picture is gone. However, if you still have the picture there, that means you didn't completely stitch it out. So that picture is going to remain. Even if you have one stitch left, you're still going to have it. It's easy here to get rid of it. So I can go ahead and touch my camera button. And I'm going to hit scan again. Make sure, and I'm going to feel under here, make sure nothing is turned over. Let's hit the scan button. And here we go. I never use the corrugated. I know people do that. I just hinge it so it's kind of like up at an angle, like a lean-to, and then I just drop it down. So yes, you can absolutely keep that corrugated piece so you don't get pinched, whatever works for you. When doing the second hooping, would I take the picture with the regular? Yeah, when you do the second hooping, that's the thing with the Stella and Altair. You're going to have to take it out, you're going to have to rehoop, and you're going to have to take another picture. So just take it off the machine, go to your hooping station, take another picture, and then send it over. All righty, here we go. Here is my picture. So, and you can tell I'm not totally hooped. It's a little bit slanted. So here's my contrast. Maybe I'll turn it up a little bit. And if you don't like your scan, maybe you reached in and you put your hand in there, you can just undo it and scan again. So see, gone, scan is gone. There it is again. And then I can always save it. I don't really know why I'd want to save it because you're going to be rehooping. So I don't know if it would apply. But pick your contrast. Once you have it, hit close. All right, I'm going to use my buttons. So I am going to go ahead and use my move. Well, I would advise just going into your size and your rotate because guess what? Your move keys are there too. They have both. When you go just into your move keys, all you get are move keys. So let's get some bang for our buck. I'm going to go ahead and go into size. I'm going to move him down a little bit. I'm going to definitely have to rotate too. So let's squeeze him down. And I'm going to stretch him out a little bit. And if you want, you can use that option. This option here will let you size about 20% up and down. This option here is going to let you double it in size and shrink it to half the size. It redigitizes. That's why this button over here is so special. I'm going to leave it because we're just going a couple of clicks up and down. Okay, I definitely can tell I need to rotate a little bit, or else I could just tug my fabric down here and up here. But I'm going to go ahead and rotate a little bit. If I rotate it too much, what I'm doing is I'm pulling these corners out. Because I'm straight this way, I'm just crooked up and down. But that's okay. I'm going to go back a little bit. And then I'm just going to leave it. That's fine. So I'm either going to be straight this way or I'm going to be straight this way. Maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll split the difference. Do you see how I'm a little over the edge down here? I'm going to go back to my size and I'm going to shrink it up one. I just went boop and squeezed it a little bit. And because, like I said, I'm the boss, I'm just going to pull this down a little bit here. Yeah, I couldn't help myself. I'm going to pull it up a little bit here, down a little bit here. Just to straighten that out. All right, I just couldn't help myself. I'm going to go back. Camera, throw away my scan. I'm going to scan again. Because you're the boss, this is fabric. You can push and pull wherever you want to make it fit. Anyone have any questions? I don't know if I pulled it totally straight, but it's straighter. On some of the other machines, you've got to go into the settings to get rid of your scan. If you don't stitch it out, you're going to have to go into settings and turn off background image. All right, that's a little bit better, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close. I'm going to go back to size. So you do what fits your scan best. I'm going to do one click bigger. That looks perfect. I'm going to go over just the tiniest bit. Should I go over? Nah, I'm going to leave it. What I don't want you to do is, I don't want you to, I feel like here's the most important part. So this is the top of the bag. This part here is the front. This is the front. This is technically the back. So just try to make sure that your embroidery from up here doesn't go into the here. You know, keep it up here. So I'm looking right here to just make sure it's not going to go in there. And maybe I'll move it up. I just moved it up one. I just don't want the heart to go into the embroidery down here. I'm good. Let's stitch. So this is what we're doing. We're taking pictures. We're going to size, rotate, place, and then we're going to stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and touch OK. I'm going to go to embroidery, and I'm going to go to stitch number 1. This is where we go forward and backward stitches. When you're quilting, you always want to go to stitch number 1. I'll give you the big old view. There's stitch number 1. We're way over here, so I'm off a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not worried about this side. I'm going to grab my upper thread, not a ton of room over here. I'm going to touch my needle down, needle up. I'm going to reach under the foot, try and grab both threads. I got them both. I'm going to hold those and stitch. And I'm going to grab my little pokey tool just to make sure. Where is he? So you can control this. Like if I feel like it's going outside here too much, I'm going to just grab my fabric and pull it over. If I feel like it's coming into this one, I'll just grab right here and just pull down a little bit. So don't forget, you're the boss and you can manipulate your fabric. Don't reach in there with your finger. See, that would have gotten me. No fingers. And this is like kind of geometric. I could have picked a different design that was going to be not as flowy. Sometimes if I have a design that's more geometric, I like to choose something like a chevron or clamshells or something that's going to be a little more not distracting. How are we? Does anyone have any questions? Hope you're all stitching with me. And it's going to go up. If you don't have these, get yourself a spatula set, because I don't want to hear anyone getting a needle to the finger, because it's just too tempting to reach in there. I thought about using my 11.5 by 18, but it just wasn't big enough. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have to double hoop anyways. I'm going to use a feathery design next. And don't worry if it's going off. That's okay. And I could undersew it next time. You know, just take it a click lower. And we're done. Let's rehoop. All right, I'm going to do this one now. Bottom right. Bottom right, bottom right. So just take the top hoop off, put it up above the machine, scoot your fabric. You can check your bobbin right now. Make sure you have enough bobbin thread. I think I'm good to do another hooping. I'm going to do this bottom part right here inside the perforated line, that dashed line. I'm going to feel around first. I want about, because I'm using my 10.5 by 16, it gives me about an inch on either side. And I want to be up probably about 3 inches from the bottom. And then let me feel the top. I can go a little further. There we go. All right. Gonna put my hoop down. Whoop, whoop. He's taking off. And I like to hinge it, feel for the bottom hoop, and drop. Okay, I'm feeling top and bottom. I'm going to pull out all my wrinkles. Pull out. You can always take a peek, make sure everything is nice and flush. Feel, make sure there's no lumps, and we're hooped and ready to go. Okay? All right, that's it. That's how easy it is with a snap hoop. The snap hoop is the way to go when you're quilting. You want one. You want two. You want three. You want, well, I have four. I do have my 8 by 12, which I don't use that often. I used to use that a lot more. I use my 9.5 by 14, my 10.5 by 16 the most. And then I'll use my 11.5 by 18 when I want to do something big. Finished embroidery. We're going to say okay. When I had to quilt a fabric. Wait, what is that question? When I had to quilt a fabric for prep, did it on my sewing machine and ended up doing lines. Yes, if you have this, do this. It's so much fun. You're just coloring with embroidery designs. You're taking a picture, you're placing it, and you're sizing it. So we're done here. I'm going to say okay. I want to go back. I could scan here if I wanted. Oh, but you know what? I want to do a different design too. So when I want to start fresh, you're just going to hit the home button. Is it okay to cancel? Yes. I'm going to go back into my embroidery designs. I'm going to use another built-in. So I'm going to go in here. You also have, so we have applique, botanical. You have another folder, quilt 2. Quilt 2. So here's some more designs in the quilt 2 folder. But I'm going to go back because I'm going to use the one that's kind of feathery. Okay. We can come back in here. I might do this one. I think I did that one. That one was really fun. So, applique, botanicals. So you have a whole bunch of stuff. Explore. Please explore. I'm going to go back to this quilt because I want the feathery design. So I'm going to do this one. Let me make sure that's the one I did. Feathers. No, that's not the one I want. I want. Oh, I could do that one too with the animals. That one's so cute. I'm going to do this one right here. So it's design 073. It might be different on your machine, but it's going to be the one that's kind of feathers in a square. Okay. I don't have it. How do I delete the picture? You have to stitch the design to completion, or if you touch scan, there's a little button. I'm going to show it to you right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Stephanie, you have this. You're on the same machine as me. You have this quilt folder. Let me return. This with the heart. Quilt folder 01. Very first design, first folder. All the way at the bottom, 073. You have this. Go ahead and touch that. Set. And there's your camera button. Touch the camera button. If you still have a design, you can turn it off right here. Background image, it'll be dark. Just hit it to the other side, and then you're ready to take another picture. Yeah, stitch to completion. If you didn't stitch to completion, the image is going to be there. I'm going to hit scan. Scan. Frame is going to move. Say okay. Give your frame some room. Make sure you don't have a corner turned to under. And scan. Here we go. And quilt. Love this. It's so much fun. I used to do when we had a classroom. We used to have a classroom. It got taken over with retail space once the pandemic happened. We used to do a custom quilting class in the store. So you would bring your quilt in, and I'd be like, "Okay, let's do this," and I'd show you all different ways to quilt, and it was so much fun. Here we go. Now it'd be even more fun because there's more things we can do. All right. So if you don't want the image, just turn it off. If you want it back, turn it on. It'll bring back the last image that you took. Here's your contrast. Adjust your contrast. I like my contrast like that. Hopefully you can see it, but you can always turn your contrast up. I guess we could do that. Let's leave it high and dry. And then once you're done, you can close. You can save it. You can still turn it off, and you can turn it back on. Maybe your fabric wasn't hoop straight. You want to adjust it. You're going to turn it off and rescan. My picture button is not even showing up. Your picture button. Are you in the main edit screen? What screen are you on? You're in embroidery, right? Embroidery? You need to be in embroidery because we're doing embroidery. Are you in embroidery? And if it's not, turn your machine off and on again. It's a computer. Sometimes it needs to reboot. All right. Now we're going to move and we're going to size and we're going to rotate if we need it. So I would turn your machine off and on again. It's just doing something quirky. Edit. I'm going to go to my size button, which also has my move buttons. And move this down. Move it over. Oh, look at that. Looks great. Oh my God, it looks so good. I use the lines on my panel to hoop, to put it in as square as I can. But if you need to, you can rotate. You can size. I'm going to go ahead and make that one little, I made it one bigger. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to undersew it a little bit. And I think that's perfect. I'm ready to go. Because the other part is going to go to the top part. So this is part of the front. The front. This is the back panel. The other one's the front. I'm all set. Take a minute. Size, rotate, move. Once you got it, okay. Embroidery, stitch number 1. So this is where you go forward and backward stitches. Yeah, turn it off and back on again, Stephanie, and let me know what happens. I'm going to go to stitch number 1. Let me give you a big view so you can see it. I'm just on a tripod, so I know sometimes you get a little bobble there. That's just me moving it rough. All right, that's stitch number 1. I'm going to bring up my bobbin thread, hold your upper thread, go needle down, needle up. I'm going to pop him up a little bit, but not pull him totally out. I'm going to reach under the foot because you want the bobbin thread and the upper thread. And let's go ahead and stitch. It's still got the picture on it from, wait, it has the picture from the fabric from before. You can't turn it off. There's no, sorry, mine's stitching now. You don't have the, I mean, you can go into your settings and turn it off. Look at the mess I'm making here. Hang on. Go into your settings button. Go into your settings and turn off the background image. I think it's going to be on one of the last page, maybe page 10. And there should be a button that lets you turn off background image. So you're going to do it there. It's still got the picture. So go to your settings, the little cog wheel. Remember, you're the boss. If it feels like it's going up, just kind of use this and pull it up a little bit out of the way. But mine's looking good. Oh my God, it's so cute. I'm going a little near the edge. I think I'm going to underfill. I'm going to do the next one and just pinch it in a little bit, leave a little bit more. Perfect. You know what else we can do? I'm going to show you how to place without the camera. So if you don't have a camera, let's talk about that. We can go old school, old fashioned way. Yay! And Dolores, you can do whatever. Like, there's so many great cheater panels. So if you can get a panel that has like squares on it, or I mean, if we were in Design Center, we could do all different shapes. But hang on, I'm paying attention. I want him to stay over here. Sorry, I'm going to focus here for just a second because I want my stitches to stay in my embroidery field. However, I think the next one, I'm going to pinch it in a little bit. Maybe so there's 1/4 of an inch around the edges. Yeah, cheaters are super fun. Because it's low stress, right? You just buy it. It's not like you put it together. Just layer it. Maybe you just want to do placemats. And just layer it and just practice filling the squares. Just take a picture, find a design, drop it in a square. It's so much fun. I know, I keep saying it. I love quilting on these machines. Next week, I'm going to do edge to edge. I did add a couple of spots. So if you want to go ahead and take that, you can. And we're going to just do a modified edge to edge. We're going to use a built-in design. And I am going to be using the 10.5 by 16 inch hoop. And there we go. Done. So cute. Doesn't that look great? So beautiful. I love variegated thread too. It's like my favorite. All right, let's do the top. We're going to do that same design on the top. When do the quilting, do you always use the 9014? Quite honestly, I don't even know what needle I have in here. What is this? Oh, this is okay. This is just my, you know all my dirty secrets. I didn't even check my needle. I just put it in. However, I mean, a quilting needle is meant for quilting, so I think that's probably going to be the best needle for the job. I do a lot with my 7511 anti-glue needle and with my 8012 microchecks needle. And then I do use a quilting needle or a 9014. If I'm like really, if I'm thinking about it, I will change out to a 9014 quilting or microchecks needle. So we are going to rehoop. Snap hoop to the rescue. Going to go ahead and just take this off. It comes off really easily when you're working with layers. Not so easily when you're just on the piece of stabilizer. So now what I'm going to be quilting is this section right here. Okay, I'm going to underfill it a little bit because I want that quilting design. I don't want any of it to really get cut off because it's so pretty. And look at the back. Looks gorgeous too. Look how good the back looks. Oh my God. Looks amazing. Okay, I'm going to feel. Go by feel. About 3 inches, because I know I have about 3 inches from, I have about 5, so I can go about 4 inches. And I know that I have about 1 inch on each side. If you're doing the 9.5 by 14, you're going to have about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to just lay this down first. I'm going to feel my lower hoop, and you can see the shadow of it, right? Like right here. I'm going to make sure I'm above that, although I can scoot it around. And drop. That's it. Now I'm going to go ahead, make sure the bottom hoop is on top of, whoop, the upper hoop's on top of the bottom hoop. I'm pretty askew, so I'm just going to lift this a little bit and pull it. The more straight you are in the hoop, the easier it will be to get everything nice and squared up. And then pull outward. Pull. I'm pulling like this, and I'm pulling like this, or I'll pull it this way too. You can't do that as easily in your regular hoops. So I can tell I'm like really not straight. Do you guys see this? Hang on. I'm trying to do this on a tripod with long legs. Do you see how it's like totally slanted? I'm going to pull them down. So I'm going to spend a little time just getting that nice and straight in the hoop so that when I drop the design in, it's going to look good. That looks okay. I think maybe I'll have to do a little sizing and a little rotating. And then again, feel and make sure that your upper hoop is on top of the lower hoop. And there we go. On the edge to edge, do we need the first book from I want you to have that book so you just understand the technique and like, how to figure out your columns, your rows, that you're starting a 1/4 inch down from the top, that we want about 1/2 inch in between. So I just want you to have that as a good reference for afterwards, like if you need it. And it is a modified version because we're just going to do, if you've done omelet scat, we're just doing A's. She does a row of A's, a row of B's. We're just doing A's because of the design and how it stitches out, and we're not using software. So it's good to have it. I don't even care if you have the second version, and we are not doing pro. We are not doing the pro right now. Okay, we're ready. Look, I'm hooped up. Looks good. It's pretty straight. Looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but who cares? It's in the hoop quilting, and you're the boss. So how do we get back to the previous screen? You got to say, okay, it's packed. Do you have them in stock? Oh, I think I have maybe 1 or 2, and they were you know what? They're back in stock. So call the store, Stephanie. Let me see if I have one for you. And you can borrow I need my copy. I will get it, and you'll be okay without it because I'm going to be kind of walking you through, and there's a prep video because you are going to be doing some stuff on your own. All right, here's my design. I'm going to go return. I can take a picture here, but you can't size in the layout page, and I want that as an option. So I'm going to go to my main edit page, return, and I'm going to go ahead and take a picture with my camera. And I'm going to hit scan. And before I hit scan, I'm going to make sure everything looks good. All my corners are showing. They're showing in the back. And I have lots of room. And now I'm going to hit scan. And now I'm going to go get a sip of coffee. Coffee! I never liked mugs. I was like, who needs a silly mug? Until I started drinking coffee. And now I love my mugs. And I love, here's my Baby Lock 50th anniversary Yeti. They gave these to us. We used to be a Baby Lock dealer. We're not anymore. But I still love my mug. And I still love your Baby Locks. Don't worry about it. Whoop. Okay. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna leave like a 1/4 inch because I want that whole design to show. And I'm gonna show you another way to check your design and whether it's gonna fit. So there's my dotted dashed line right there. So I'm gonna go close, and I'm gonna go edit and size. And I'm gonna squeeze. So when I'm doing this, I usually squeeze, pull, push, stretch. I use these buttons down here, these 4 buttons. When I'm doing just a regular embroidery design, I usually I stick to the top two, and I usually do this option, which redigitizes. But for this, it's very simple. I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze him, move him, squeeze him. So I'm squeezing this way. I want to fit him in that square. I'm going to squeeze him one more time. Move him up. Okay, it looks like I'm about 1/8 of an inch. So did you know you can also zoom? Look at that. Hand to move. So I'm like right below that line. Okay, and I'm right above this line. Maybe we'll go to 125%. How's that? Okay, so you have zoom here. Hand to move, and then we're going to go back to our action over here. It looks pretty good left to right. I might squeeze it in one click. And I'm going to move it to the right one click. That looks gorge. It looks so good. Let me go 200%. And then I have the hand to move. See, I'm like right here. I'll show you the corner. Maybe I want to stretch them out. I'm going to just leave it. I'm going to leave it. I'm just letting you see the perimeter. And that's at 200%. Let's go back to 100%. There we go. Looks good. Love it. Okay, I'm ready to stitch. I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to show you something in your embroidery screen. So we're still in the edit screen. I'm going to touch embroidery. Now we're in the layout screen. This is the screen from which we stitch out. I'm going to look at your questions, see if I missed anything. Aren't we lucky? We're so lucky to be able to use the camera and be able to do edge to edge. Did you show how to connect? We're not connecting today. Today we're just doing built-in. I am doing an edge-to-edge class next week, and we're going to be connecting then on the edge-to-edge. It's packed. Okay, ready? So another thing that you can do to check, let's say you don't have a camera, you just put the design in. This button right here, this allows us to go to different points on the machine. So I can go ahead, hang on. Let's do this one right here. If you hit this button right here, it's going to just continuously go over to like the corners of the design. But here we can check. Okay, that is the rightmost corner. And I'm not giving you a straight on view so you don't have it. Always push down your fabric because the loft can affect where it's going to go. Now I'm going to go to my leftmost corner. So I'm going to go ahead and touch this button. I could move my whole design over like one click because I'm right on the corner here. And here I'm probably about, I'd say 1/8 of an inch, maybe even 1/4 of an inch away. Let's go bottommost corner. And I could go down a little bit. If you can't, if your orientation's not great, guess what? Take your hand wheel and roll it. Oh, that's really good actually. That's really good there. And then I'm going to go rightmost corner. And that's good too. I'm actually fine with that. But once you check those, you could go in here. I could do the center mark too. So I could go back in here and I could go center. Show me center. And remember, the center is of this whole thing right here. Because I know that doesn't look like center, but it is of this square. Once you check that, now you can go in here and you could use your move arrows. Go layout, and you could go move. And now you could move up and down and check it, okay? So there's some other stuff that you can use. You could do a snowman sticker. We could throw a snowman sticker in the center of the design and use that to place. I think on the stellar and the altar, you could do 2-point placement. Am I right? You could do 2-point placement too, and we could check it that way. So I'm pretty good here. I just checked the outline, loved it. I'm going to just say okay. I'm going to come down here so I can go to stitch number 1, and then we're going to stitch. Here we go. Stitch number 1. That's where our first stitch is going to be. I didn't even check my bobbin. I hope it's enough. So I'm going to hold this in my upper hand, needle down, needle up. I'm going to reach under the foot and grab that bobbin thread. You want this upper thread to be threaded down through the hole in your embroidery foot. Otherwise, it makes a big old mess. I'm going to hold these out to the side and we're going to stitch. Yay! And then we're going to be halfway done. Then we're just going to do the top two. Get your snips. You can snip those threads so it's not making a big old mess. Any questions? You guys doing okay? It does a locking stitch, so just go ahead and snip it. Don't worry. Snip it! Ooh, it's so beautiful! It's very tempting for me to just do some custom quilting, but I'm not going to do it today because we'll save that for another day. But you could take this into IQ Designer and do custom quilting, and we could do something right here. We could do a different design here and a different design here. That's for IQ Designer and Design Center. We'll save that. Maybe when Zippy Panel... Oh! Darn it. When Zippy Panel 5 comes out, I'll do custom quilting in Design Center. Here we go. I need a different bobbin. I'm just using up what I have. And that's okay that that happened because I'll show you how to go back. I'm just going to use this. Okay, cut your thread. So I cut my thread. I'm going to slide the hoop towards me. You got to be careful because this top can move from the bottom. So you want to be very mindful and careful when you pull this off that they don't separate. I'm going to go ahead and actually move this to the back. Just so I can see under here. Okay. Just enough. I should have checked before when I rehooped. And, you know, I'm not being picky. I love doing projects like this because I'll just use up whatever bobbins I have. But if you want it to be gorge, match your bobbins, do whatever works for you. Okay, be careful. I'm going to slide it back on. And I'm going to grab this and I'm going to be very careful when I slide it on. Okay, we're going to go back a couple of stitches. I always forget to hit this button here to do it that way. So I'm just going to hit return. I'm just going to go back 10. How do you get here if you're not on that screen? It's going to be this button here where you go forward and backward stitches. I already went back 10, so I'm not going to do it again, but I just usually will go back 10. Okay, same thing. Want to bring up my bobbin thread? Sorry, my tripod's getting stuck. Whoops. What's this? Oh, thread from my bobbin boat. Okay. Needle down, needle up. Gonna reach underneath and grab. Make sure I get that bobbin thread too. I'm gonna grab both of them and start stitching, and then I'll stop and snip. Patrick, you know what one of our questions is gonna be? I think I'm going this year to the brothers having their big, they call it B2B, their back to business. And so I was thinking, give me a list of the things that you want to see in the machine or whatever you would like to, because so many people are like, I want a bobbin that you can change without taking off the hoop. I just don't even know how they could do that, right? When you sent the picture to the Stellar, you can't find it. Are you in embroidery? So go into, I think you have to have a design up. So Naomi, go slide your hoop on, and then it should pop up. So slide your hoop on, pick your design. Choose your design, and then it should be there. Then it'll say design sent over. But I think you have to choose a design first. So Stephanie, you might have to choose the redigitizing, because if you're choosing the first option, you're only going to be able to size it up and down 20%. If you have a little design and you want to make it really big, you have to choose the redigitizing option. Yay, look at it. Looks so good. Oh my God, I love it. So much fun. So easy. Easy, easy peasy. Next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do a design from, we'll do a design from, whatchamacallit, from my clear blue tiles. Not my clear blue tiles, but red, white, and blue. I love this one. This is one of my favorite variegateds from OESD. Why don't we wind a bobbin of it? Because remember how I told you, you can wind bobbins while this is stitching? Hang on a second. I'm going to make my tripod. Very low tech here, guys. I know like most of the YouTubers have very fancy rooms and setups. No, not me. Okay, here. I was just making my tripod bigger. You have a secondary spool pin. So you can wind a bobbin while you are stitching. A lot of times I don't even use a spool cap on these because it just feeds off so nicely. And whoop. Wrap around 4 or 5 times around the bobbin. Cut around the base, pull, and then I'll just wind a bobbin with this. We'll use this for... And it would be winding even with this stitching, which is really, really nice. You click on the icon to move the hoop. But when I click back, it returns the hoop and doesn't go back to the right place. Oh, I don't know. I'd have to like do it and play with it. Yeah, not sure, Miss Cindy. Marina, I would love a multi-needle with a large... I know! Yes. Okay, I totally hear you on that. I'm going to stop this. Okay. Yeah, every time they do multi-needle stuff, I'm like, oh, can I leave my thing up this high? I don't think so. It's too high. I'm gonna leave this in the top, and I'm gonna leave this on the top. Just use them up, because every time I use up a spool of thread, I feel like, yes, you do deserve to shop and buy stuff. Look, you use all your stuff. So I'm just gonna leave that. Okay, I'm gonna rehoop. Let's take this off. Maybe we'll do, I'm going to do this one right here just because it's next. And feel around on the bottom from the edge of your hoop. You want about 4 inches. You want about 1 inch from the side. That seems good to me. You want him nice and straight and up and down. Feel for it. I can feel the bottom hoop here. I'm just going to drop it. Okay. Now I'm going to pull outward. Pull outward this way, and then I'm going to pull outward top and bottom. And I'm okay with this. See, I'm closer on this side than this side. That's okay. I'm feeling my hoop again, making sure the top is on the bottom. So you got to feel a couple different things. Feel. I think we're good. That's good enough. The 10.5 by 16 just gives you options. It gives you options. Hang on a second. I'm going to lower this. I know it's going to shake a little bit. Sorry. But I love you guys. Don't be mad. I know. Don't be mad My low-tech filming. Okay. Look away. Just look away when I'm moving my stuff around. The 12 by I rarely use my fabric mat. I guess because I'm usually doing applique. So and they have the 12 by 24 standard and low tack. I need to do more. I need more time. All right, we're gonna do this one. And why don't we go ahead? I'm gonna do one more built-in. Let's do one more built-in. Okay, here we go. Because we still have more on the Avenir. You have more, and you have more on the Luminaire, I think. So I'm going to go home. Go home when you're done with it. When you've had enough and you want something else, go home. I know. Why don't they have a 12 by 24? I don't know. Oh, so when I go, you guys are going to give me, because I think we're going to be I'm going to be at a dinner. And so you're going to give me I'm going to make my list too. I'm going to be like, excuse me. Oops, sorry, I didn't want to go in there. Let's go back. You're going to give me a list of your stuff. I'm going to be like, okay, Scan and Cat, can we please have 12 by 24 fabric mat? Why not? All right, what else do I have? I've got this one. It's that one's really pretty. I don't think I used that. Let me look at I'm sitting on it right now. Did I use that one? No, but I did this one. I did this one. So if we go into quilt 2, I did this one and I loved it. So you need to find this. If you can't find it here, look in your book. I think the designs are going to be similar on the Avenir and the Radiance, but I'm not positive. But I'm going to do this one right here. Ooh, look at that one. That one's really good too. I thought that was a little busy, and that's why I didn't do it. And some of these are going to be like, there's a lot going on. Like something like this, I feel like I would just do on whole cloth where the focus is just going to be the stitching. So I'm going to do this one here. Just so you can find it, I went into the heart and I slid down to quilt 2. And did you guys know you can do this? If you want to see a lot all at once, or you want to see bigger, you can pinch and pull. Did you know you could do that? Is that so cool? Or what? Okay. I'm doing this one. 007. I know some of you buy machines and you didn't have a lot of classes. Look at the size. That's small. So I'm going to have to size that up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit set. And I'm going to take a picture. Take your picture. Scan. Scan it. It looks so good. So exciting. I mean, I've done a lot of quilting in the hoop. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. What advanced tools would you want, Marina? Because I'm still learning. Okay, look how little itty bitty that is. That is not big enough. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn down my contrast because this is orange and I can't see it as well. So I'm going to make it in the middle. And I'm going to hit close, edit. So some of the designs like Stephanie was asking about, this is my size button. So if you go 20%, look, it doesn't fill. That's okay. You can do this option right here, and that's going to redigitize, and you can double it in size, or you can have it inside. And it's going to redigitize, so you're going to have the right stitch count. It's not going to be all messed up. All right, so I'm doing this option here, which is going to redigitize your design for you. Because this option here, let's say you have 10,000 stitches. If you were to be able to make that half the size, it's still going to be 10,000 stitches. Your design would be all messed up and ick. So this one will change your stitch count, and that's why you want to use this sometimes, okay? All right. We'll blow them up first. Equidistant. I'm going to stretch it. And just doing a combination of stretching, moving, pulling. Okay, it's big here and not as big here. I'm actually going to just pull right there. I just pulled it. So I'm going to focus over here because I think it's going to fit. I'm going to pull it down here. And if you're still worried about it, take another picture. All right, I'm going to take another picture. Okay, scan, because I went and stretched it a little bit. Turn off the scan. Hit scan again. I'm going to check it one more time because might as well. You have those features. Let's make it look good. How are we doing? You guys are doing okay? Oh, to recognize Mighty Hoop. I don't know if they'll do that. I don't know if they'll have it recognize non-OEM hoops. But send it in. I'm your representative. I'm going to be your ambassador to Brother. Okay, looks good. Look, I stretched it and pulled it. Don't forget, you can do that. You're the boss. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out. And now I'm going to go here to my size. And I'm just going to scoot him up a little bit. And I'm going to squeeze it down one. And move it up. That looks good to me. I could rotate it just the tiniest bit because it's a little high here and high here. So if I go rotate. One more. One more. Two more. Move over. To me, that looks really good. I'm going to show you 100%, 150% grabbing the hand. Hand has to be highlighted. Ooh, I didn't show you any of that, did I? Oh, no, I did. Let me move it back a little bit. Hand to move. And I'm just inside of that line a little bit. I'm a little close there, but that's okay. Do you see? I'm just looking around the line. Little close right here. That's okay, though. Overall, I think it looks thumbs up. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom back to 100%. Lots of ways that you guys can check. Oh, my God. Is this machine the best machine ever? If you're interested, let us know. And I'm going to go embroidery. I'm going to go here where I go forward and backward stitches. Let's go to stitch number 1. And I am going to bring, that's where it's going to start to stitch. Needle down, needle up. I'm going to reach under the foot, grab both of my threads. I got them both. Let's stitch a little bit. I don't know which direction it's going to go. Woo. I'm going to stop it. Let me grab my snips. Let's cut those. And then we'll finish stitching. How are we doing? How are we doing on time? We doing okay? So it's we started an hour and 43 minutes ago. And imagine if I wasn't talking, if you were just concentrating, just hooping, moving it around. Like I said, I want to say when I did it at home, it took me about 2 hours. And I was still like focusing and looking through stuff. And so I think 2 hours is totally reasonable. But if it took you 3 hours, who cares? How long would it take you to free motion quilt that? And how would it look? So if you want to be quilting, if you don't have a machine like this and you want to be quilting, it's worth the investment. I think it's worth the investment, right? And the Luminaire 3 is so wonderful, Marina. Okay, I'm going to cut because guess what? I did run out of thread. This is called living on the edge, and sometimes you gamble and lose. All right. I should have just I thought about it. I was like, should I just put in a new bobbin? And then I was like, I thought there was a lot on that green, but obviously not. Just enough where I can get to it. I'm going to hold on to that hoop so it doesn't. Bring it back. Be careful. Be mindful. Make sure you don't separate these two hoops. Make sure nothing budges. And if it does, guess what? That was you, not the machine. And then you'll be more careful the next time. All right. I usually just go back here. Sorry. Return. I'm going to go -10. And I'm going to bring that bobbin thread up again. I'm going to grab underneath, grab both of those threads, and we're off to the races. How about with the top design, we split that into two. So with the top half, I'm going to measure it really quickly, and I'm going to pull it, and you can go ahead and just do this. Well, you know what? Just because I want to get us through this, I'm just going to repeat. So we'll take this design, I'm going to repeat it on the top, and then the very last one over here, I'm going to use some designs I have from Red, White, and Bloom, and we'll do this section, that section, and then the very top. So we'll do it in not three hoopings, but 3 different designs to make it a little more exciting. We're so exciting here at A1. You can tell your friends, you can be like, I watched the live feed, it was so exciting. This stuff gets me excited though. When we do the quilt shows, I'll just pull people and I'll be like, can I show you some custom quilting? It's so amazing. Oh, geez, are you guys getting, I wonder if the storm you're getting in Long Island was the storm that hit us, Joanne, because that was a doozy. Aw, yeah, we love Becky. I wish I had more time, and then I could go see Becky, and I could sew with Becky, right? Whoop! Did you see it got close? Close to the edge. Where's my spatula? No fingers. I wasn't paying attention. So you could just pull like that, right? See? Oh my God, this design is so cute. I love it. It's like a combination of like flowers and feathers. Like they're flowy flowers, feathery flowers. I love that you found us. So sorry, the hoop was hitting my tripod. We started doing during the pandemic, and our live feeds would be like, it would be like Patrick and I and like 2 people. We're like, hey Lori, hey Nula, and be like 2 people. And then it's just slowly grown, and it's kind of a fun way to keep in touch, let you know what's going on in the store. And then I just started doing videos. I was like, well, maybe if I do this video, like I'm going to film it anyways, maybe it'll help somebody. And then that grew too. this, it makes me want to squeal. Like, it is so cute. Let's look at the back too. Let's look at the back. I mean, normally, like, I feel like you don't have to adjust it. It's just going to look amazing. Like, you know how you have to play with your tension a lot of times when you're free motion quilting? Doesn't that just look amazing? Everything looks so perfect. So, okay. Let's do the top. We're going to do the same design. I'm just going to rehoop. We're going to do the top, and then we'll do a little bit more custom here on the left-hand side. I know, back into it, right? When I drove to work today, I was like, wow, the streets are already great. You know what's crazy about living out here? Like, I grew up in Connecticut, and I feel like as soon as the snow fell, the plows would come out, the streets would get plowed, like everything was, they don't plow out here. You're like, oh, we got like a foot of snow and they didn't plow our neighborhood. They don't plow like they do back east. They're like, oh, just drive over it. Yeah, I know that's like a foot berm. Drive over it. It'll pack down. Okay, here we go. That's how easy it is to hoop. I'm going to grab my fabric top and bottom. I'm going to try to make sure. I'm going to pull my fabric so it's nice and taut.
Hold on, I'm walking to the other side of the
I'm going to make sure I don't feel any lumps and bumps. I'm lazy, so I don't often take my hoop off, but if you want to be sure, take it off, check the back. But I'm pretty lazy, and it's usually pretty good just by like pulling your fabric that way, making sure it's nice and taut, not tight, taut. You don't want to overstretch it. Okay, we're ready. Let's take a picture. Can you guys believe this? We're almost done. All right. This is my layout screen. I want to go to the previous screen. We're going to go return. I'm going to hit my camera button. Going to touch scan. And let's take a picture. I love going back east. Patrick doesn't like going back east. He's like, why do I want to go back east? I just get a sinus infection. And everyone's so stressed out. Oh my God. My daughter, I got to tell you, we do think west is the best. I'm not bagging on back east. I love back east. And, but she's in DC right now. And she's like, I don't know cold like this. Because cold here, in Reno, it gets cold, but it's a different type of cold than you get back east. That back east humid, bone-chilling cold. Violet's like, 30 degrees in Reno feels very different than 30 degrees in DC. I think she's been cold. She's been really, really cold. So, okay, here we go. And she said she could live out there, but she wants to come back home. And I was like, yay, my baby. You know, you don't want to lose your kids all the way across the country. Okay, edit, size. I'm going to scoot it down first. And you know what? I remember that's like the orange on these colors. I'm going to go, you can always hit the scan button. You can go back in there, and I'm going to adjust my contrast a little bit more. So when she told me, she was like, oh yeah, I want to come home. She was like, I don't think I could live out here for a long period of time. I was happy because I want my baby back. Okay, move it over. I could tell right now, I think I'm going to stretch and rescan. Let's squeeze it down. This is kind of hard to see right here. Okay, I'm going to rescan because I'm going to take this fabric, my fabric, and I know I'm exaggerating, but it's kind of at an angle like this. I'm going to tug it down here, and I'm going to pull it up here. And then I'm going to rescan. So, because it's fabric and it's malleable, pull it down here. Make sure top hoop is on the bottom hoop. And then I'm going to pull it up right here too. Okay, I think I'm good now, and I'm going to rescan one more time. Here we go. Rescan. Turn off the old one. Hit your scan button. Say okay. There's no harm in rescanning. And it's your level of perfectionism, right? A lot of times I'll be like, oh, I'm fine with it. And then I can't help myself. I'm like, oh, I'm done seam ripping. And then I can't help myself. I have to pull out some more. Or I'm like, that scan's fine. I'm just going to go with it. And then I have to rescan. So I pretend like I'm laid back, but I'm not. I pretend like it's okay, but it's not. Like I like perfect. I do. So whatever your level of perfection is up to you. So that looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and close, and I'm going to pinch and move down. And I'm going to rotate one, edit, rotate. Oh, that was too much. And I'm going to pinch again. Size. That looks good. Well, I'm going to scoot it over one. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm going to say okay. Embroidery, stitch number 1 down here, stitch number 1. Grab my upper thread, needle down, needle up. And so all we have left to do, not sure where it's going to go. I think it goes to the back first. Gonna let it do a couple stitches, cut that off so it doesn't get stitched down, and start. Hi, Miss Cindy. Oh my God, you guys are already stitching? I know, you couldn't wait. I'm gonna start home sewn, I think on March 5th. Because guess what? Sippin' is coming out. So I'll go ahead, or maybe we'll do it, I don't know. I wanted everyone to have their stuff. And I will have more kits going out this week. I think we're going to have more kits this week, and then we'll have more kits going out the week after. Anyhow, I'll do the prep video. We'll do prep together via Zoom. Hi, Miss Christine. Nice of you to join us. It's good to see you. So cute. I mean, don't you love these? Oh, you could like outline each of these and custom quilt them, put a little design in each one. Like there's so much you can do. After we're done with this one, this will be the third one. Then we're going to do this one over here, and I'm going to use some designs from Red, White, and Bloom. If you have Red, White, and Bloom and you want to throw it on a USB right now, you can do that too. I just threw mine on a USB so I had all the different sizes. For this, Connie, I always prefer single stitch. I'm a single stitch kind of girl. I'm using variegated thread. I feel like you lose some of the beauty of your variegated thread when you do a triple stitch, because it's just doing stitches over stitches, and it might, the color might go over the color that you have that's showing in the variegation. So for me, quilting is all about a single stitch. That's what I prefer. So when we do my design center, I always turn it on to the lighter of the options. They have like the triple stitch option, or the thick or the thin. I always do thin. I mean, that being said, I did do one of the triple stitch for the top of these because I didn't know. I didn't know it was triple stitch, but it looked great. I was like, oh, that looks so pretty. I'll show you. So you tell me, right? Here we go. This one right here was like a triple stitch. And you can tell because it looks so much thicker. And then this one here was a single stitch. Triple, single, triple, 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 single, single. So when I did this, I was like, oh no, it's a triple stitch. And then when it was done, I was like, oh, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous. I love it. And it's going to take more time too, right? So how much time do you want to put into this? I did this in IQ. So I just outlined it and then dropped the stippling in. And this one I just did like an orange peel, but I didn't center it. I should have worked harder to center it to the design. I didn't. And this was clear blue tiles. This is clear blue tiles and this was swirls. So we're going to do that next. We're going to do that next. Let's come on back over. Sorry, took you on my journey. Okay. Anna likes the single. Yeah, honestly, that triple stitch, I'm always like, oh, it's a triple stitch. But then when I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's kind of pretty. Like it. Isn't this fun? It is so much fun. Okay, so we are done. What we've done so far, we did this bottom one. That's a bag. That's a bag. That's a bag. The last one I'm going to do, I put some, whatchamacallit, some red, white, and blue on a USB, and I'm going to do that one. So we're going to rehoop, and then we're going to do half of the little rectangles on the top. Okay, slide that off. Let's move this over. Snap hoop is the way to go if you're quilting. People ask, well, what about the Brother magnetic hoops? Yeah, you can, but there's like, 8 magnets every time you rehoop, or 6. Is it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's either 6 or I think 8. And like, do you really want to be pulling all those off when you could just use a snap hoop where you can drop down the top? And you can't really pull like you can pull with a snap hoop. So that's why, for me, I recommend a snap hoop. Oop. I need that further up. You just be careful. You just be careful. Watch those piggies. I'm super low, but it's okay. As long as I leave about 3 inches. Hang on, I'm going to move them up a little bit more. There we go. And sometimes with a snap hoop, I know we're always like, you want to have at least 5 to 6 inches all the way around. I mean, I'll run a table runner or something right down the middle where it's not even on these 2 edges. You can do that. It's okay. I'm going to, lazy me, I'm not checking the back. If you feel like you need to check the back each time, I want you to. I want you to slide it off and I want you to check the back. I don't want you to have like a big old wrinkle that got stitched down where you're like, oh my God, this is awful. So check the back. You can kind of like put your hand under a little bit, and you can do this and make sure there's no big, huge wrinkles underneath. You can feel through that. And we're ready to go. You want to look at the back of this? Oh my God, it's so gorgeous. It's breathtaking. Did you hear me gasp because it was so gorgeous? Okay, let's go in here. I am going to say okay to that because we're done. I'm going to go home. Why don't we pick a design? So let's go embroidery. And I haven't used a USB in so long because I've been doing design database transfer, but I didn't want to click on anything. I want to just copy the whole folder, put it on a USB. We've got wavy, we've got plaid. Okay, when I have stuff like this, that's like very geometric, like symmetrical, I like to use something that's maybe more free-flowing. The top one where it's like got a lot of stuff going on, then I might go more symmetrical. I don't know. That's just like how my brain works. So for this one, see how it's going to be like wavy, plaid. So it's not going to have all of those like stars. Stars might be good. Let me look at the stars. Embroidery files, PES. Oh, I think I'll do stars. I like it. So I'm going to look for, you can choose whatever design you have. You can continue to use the built-in designs. You get so excited when you check. I get so excited. I do get so excited. I could do that one. Okay, I got to return. You know, I'm the type of person when I go to this store, I got to check out everything because I don't want to miss something. So now I'm like, is there something I would have liked better? Geometric, food, insects, patriotic, floral. I might do floral. Let's look at floral.
Correct that there were no instructions on there, but Jeannie had them, so I just put them on there for you. So
Ooh, I like these. It might take a little while, but I'm going to do it. It's just for the bottom part. 8x8's as big as it goes.
Okay, come here and take a peek though.
So I'm going to do 8x8. I know it's going to take a little while. That's too long.
But that one just
That's too long. Okay, sorry. We're going to go back to stars because it's too long. I don't want to be here for that long. Okay, I'm going to go back to stars. Stars. Ooh, pebbles. You got to love pebbles. Orange peel. You got to love orange peel. Okay. Embroidery files, and I'm going to choose the 8x8. Whoops. That was an accident. I didn't mean to touch that. So here's 8x8. And I'm going to do this one. And it's 6 minutes. It's going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And let's go ahead and hit our scan button. Three of the monster hoops in various sizes and have never used them. Oh, Marina, I hope that this, like just watching this and seeing how easy it is to hoop is going to make you use this one. They're so easy. For quilting, that's when I feel like the monster hoops super, super shine. But I know some people that use them for everything. It's just for me, I like the stability of the other hoops better. And then for quilting, this is what I want to use because I feel like it's the perfect combination with a quilt sandwich to take it off, on, holds just enough, and then you can go ahead and like pull it so it's taut. All right, so here's our image. I'm going to go ahead and that looks good on this. I could turn it up a little bit. Ooh. See how you can't see the blue as well? I'm going to turn it down to the lowest one. I'm going to touch close, edit. This we're going to have to stretch quite a bit because I'm going to go into the size button. And instead of doing the 20% up and down, I'm going to do this one, which redigitizes. So go ahead and choose that. And let's size it up a little bit first. Move it over. I'm going to stretch it. Just use whatever combination works for you. And guess what? When I saved this for my download, I did not save the clear blue tile. I only saved the, whatchamacallit? I only saved the block by block. So I'm going to focus on the design and I'm going to make it even bigger. Because this includes the placement for the batting and the background tack down. And that is not what I want. So there we go. That's what I want. I want that inside line to be down one. I'm going to pull it out a little bit. Okay. That looks good to me. So my outside line is outside of the block, but what I want you to focus on is the design inside, and we are going to skip a couple of steps. So that looks great. I'm going to go ahead and say okay, and I'm going to say embroidery. Ooh, change to a larger frame. Guess what? I'm outside of the, if I had the clear blue tiles, it would just be the turquoise. So I'm going to go here to my settings button to see how much room I have. And I just chosen the biggest hoop. I'm going to select the 10 and 5/8 by 16 because now I can see, oh, God, it's that outside. That's making me angry because I want that design. But the outside is bumping me, and it knows what hoop I have on. It knows I have the 10 and 5/8. I don't have just the clear blue tiles. I only have the block by block on my stick. So, you know what I can do? See how I'm not hooped straight? How I have way more over here than over there? I'm going to rehoop because I still want to do this design. So if I rehoop and I snug this over to the right a little bit, we might be able to fit it. So you gotta work with what you got, right? I think I can do it if I... Boop. This isn't even on. I think this will work. Because I wasn't hooped straight and I had way more hoop on one side than the other. So I could find the design and load the clear blue tiles only, but I don't want to have to hop on my computer right now. Okay, I think if I do this and rehoop, I think we're going to be able to make it fit. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to the scan again. I'm going to scan because now I moved it over. So we have more room. The bigger the hoop, the more options you have. And I might just size it down the tiniest bit to make sure it fits in this hoop. You can make it work. You make it work. You're the boss. Old school for those of you without a camera. Yes. Oh, yay, Marina. I'm so happy. I hope it gives you a little bit of confidence to go ahead and try this. So here we go. You know what we could do? So should I do this old school? We'll turn off the camera. We'll turn off the background image. Let's turn off the background image. So I'm going to make it fit and then I'll move it and I'll show you how to do it without a camera. So I'm going to go ahead and close this and I'm going to, do you see how this side of my hoop, so what I did when I went into my settings is I chose my 10.5 by 16 inch hoop. And what that does is it puts this outline and I know that's my embroidery field. So here's my design. It's sticking out on this side, and that's why it was telling me to change to a bigger hoop. I also know that I'm too big width-wise because I only have 10 and 5/8 inches. So I know I'm going to have to make it smaller regardless. So I'm just going to squeeze it in this way. So 10.54, so I should be good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move it over. I'm going to go okay, and we'll go size, and I'm going to move it so it fits left to right. I'm going to fit in that hoop. Okay, so I'm going to do this partially old school, Debbie, because I will go ahead and turn off. Prepared to be amazed. Magically, I will fit it in there without the image in the background. So I'm going to go here to my camera and we'll turn off the scan. Okay. I know I'm going to fit left and right because I put up my 10 and 5/8 and I'm within that. Sometimes people will be like, well, my design's smaller. Why is it telling me to go to a bigger hoop? You might be outside a click. too far, left or right, top or bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Let's go to the other part. And we're going to go embroidery. And now I'm going to use this again. Remember, whoops, no, you can't even see it. This right here. Because I'll find the top rightmost point and I'll make sure that it's inside my red square. And I'll at least show you that. So here we go. Ooh! It's nowhere near. I want it. Oh, but you know what we have to keep in mind? This might not be the best thing to do because it is taking into account the batting and the placement line. So, but I know that I'm too high, right? So at least I know that I'm too high. Whoops, hang on. Let me see if I can loosen this. So, is this going to loosen? Can I swing it? Here we go. So I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to go layout, move, and I'm going to scoot them down. So here we go. My thing's over there. Now I can scoot down because it's actually moving it down. All right. So I scooted it down. Now we can go ahead and, sorry, not move. Hang on. I have to move the whole thing. I'm going to go with okay. And let's go ahead and change the bottom most point. That looks good because remember I have that 1/4 inch. Now let's go ahead and check the leftmost point. So maybe I want to be over to the left a little bit. And then the top leftmost point. But don't forget this is taking into account the background placement. So maybe I need to go move and go up. So this isn't the best example because if I had clear blue tiles, that would be better. Clear blue tiles isn't going to have this outer outline. It's just going to have the outline of the embroidery design itself, and that's all we really want. So it's okay, but I'm going to bring back the image because I have that camera. So I'm going to bring back the image. I'm just going to touch that, and now the image is there. But look, this was me just kind of playing around and using that, and I'm pretty good, right? I'm in there, but I might move it a little bit more. I'm going to move it up a little bit. And that looks good. So you're going to have to use, you could use the, like what I think what might be good for you is you could find the center mark and then just go ahead and hit your center. And at least you'd have the center right on, dead on, if you marked it and then went like this and then, oops, shoot, sorry. That was me. I should have done the other button. I was, hang on, let me put this back. Whoop, too far. So from here, you could hit the center mark. So if you mark your fabric, mark the center, you can take that and go to the center. And if you're hooped pretty straight, you get kind of trust it. And then you could check all of your corners to make sure you're in where you want to be. What do the clear blue tiles do? Clear blue tiles they're just, for me, the clear blue tiles are all about the designs. They're just they don't really do anything. They do give you grids. So you could place the grids down. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because I have a camera, so I just use the designs from the clear blue tiles. Clear blue tiles. Okay, wait. I'm just going to stitch this and then I'm going to show you clear blue tiles on something that's already out because this is going to take 7 minutes. So let's stitch it first and then we're going to talk clear blue tiles. So again, you want to go stitch number 1. Stitch number 1. That's where it's going to start. He's kind of, oh, no, we don't want to start stitch number 1. Don't forget, I loaded block by block. Clear blue tiles would just be the blue quilting. That's what clear blue tiles is. Well, Clear Blue Tiles is a quilting system that's put together by Kimberbell. And when you put your designs in, you get your quilting designs, they're going to give you the quilting designs block by block, and then they're going to give it to you Clear Blue Tiles. And what block by block is going to give you all these steps. Batting placement, batting tack down, background placement, background tack down, and quilting. If you load the clear blue tile designs in, it's just going to be the quilting. Hopefully that makes sense. So I only loaded block by block. So I'm going to skip all of this because all I want is the quilting. So I'm going to just go ahead and there. You can see just the quilting. That's what I want. Now I'm going to bring up my bobbin thread, and I'll show you the templates that come with clear blue tiles that are going to be perfect for you if you don't have the camera. Okay, let's let this stitch. It's going to be 7 minutes of stitching. Boop. Now let's talk about the clear blue tile quilting system. Low tech. Sorry, switching camera stands. All right. This is the clear blue tile essential set. And I love it because it comes with the designs, and I use them. Sometimes if I can't decide, I'll just go, I'm just going to do swirls. Like, I love the swirls. I love the bumblebees. I mean, they're all super, super cute. But if you want, and this will be good for us to plan right here, okay? It comes with templates. Don't use these. Everyone says these stain and they don't come out, so don't use those. I'm not looking at comments at all. It comes with a USB, but I don't know where I put mine. It's okay. I saved it on my hard drive. I have a whole video that I did where it has house table runners. So I pieced the house, and then I showed you how to quilt with the clear blue tiles on the house. So if you want, it comes with this embroidery design, and then you have all these templates. So now you can plan your quilt, and you can grab your template and you can go, okay, what size is going to fit right here? This one's a little big. Little small. So you'll find the one that fits the best, right? There's like little itty bitties. There's all different sizes. And you know what? That one's too small. I think this one's going to be the best. It's not quite, it's a little bit too long, but it's pretty close. So this will tell you that it's going to fit in your 6x10, your size. You're going to put it here. You're going to mark, and then you're going to be able to know that there's your center mark for when you do your quilting. We're going to have to size it down a little bit, but you can measure this. Do I have my friction pen here? Friction, I do have this. Is this white chalk? I need a ruler. Ruler, hang on. See, measure. Are you guys even seeing this? Let's measure. So this is 9.5 by, looks like 6 and an 1/8. So you could write your measurement, what you're gonna have to size it down to. Find your center. Mark your center. This is just a little chalk pen. So that's where you're going to center. Like, you're going to move your needle drop to the center, and you're going to write your size in, so you can just like size it down. So whatever size it was, and then we're going to size it to that. So now I know that I'm going to be doing, what was that, 6x9? 9.5. Yeah, so about 6x9. I'm gonna look for a design that's about 6x9 and I'm gonna size it to that because we're gonna do a design like that. This allows you to like mark it so you know where your center is. You can kind of plan it out, what the finished block is gonna be, because they're gonna have the designs are gonna be in different sizes. So so then you know what block you're gonna pull. So we're gonna pull the 6x10 design, and then I'm gonna size it down a little bit. And then you can write it down on here. I don't know. So I love this. A lot of times I'll like eyeball. And I'm like, that one right there, what size is going to work? This one's going to be way too small. This one's going to be, okay, so here we go. So this one's going to be the 3x10. So I'm going to be looking for a 3x10 and a 6x10. Those are the sizes that I'm going to look for. All right. Let's see what we have over here. And then you have the bigger templates. So you have bigger templates that you're going to have with the other sets, but this looks absolutely great. It's so cute. So cute. Let's go ahead and grab another design. You guys ready? It just allows you, the clear blue tiles are going to be, there's two different things. Clear blue tiles is that set, and then clear blue tiles, when you load your designs, is going to be the design that doesn't have the 4 steps that precede it for putting down your batting and your background fabric. It's just going to be the quilting design. Okay, so I want something that's going to be maybe not so busy for this part right here, because I want this to kind of shine. So maybe we'll just do waves or something geometric. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go home. Again, I'm using the red, white, and bloom pack, which is fantastic. You guys, we have a Kimberbell affiliate link. So if you go through our affiliate link and buy your designs, we get a little bit of credit from them. So, sorry. I'm going back to my pocket because I have this on my USB. I'm going to go red, white, and bloom. And why don't I use wavy? I'm just going to do wavy. Embroidery files. PES. And I didn't load the clear blue. So, but I know that I want a 6x10 design because we put that on there. And I want this one, and I'm going to turn it. Because we want the 6x10 size. That's what's going to fit best. So we're going to go edit, rotate 90 degrees, and I'm going to rehoop and take a picture. Here we go. And I'm just going to do wavy on here on top of the fabric and the notions, and then the what do you call it? The iron. And I'm going to hoop so I can do this one and this one. So I can fit both of those in my hooping. So I need to be mindful of my placement because my hoop, 10.5 by 16. Let's hoop it up. This is going to be the last zippy bag hooping, and then we're going to do the little tags. And what a fun way to spend our Saturday morning. Okay, here we go. Looks good. I'm just going to make sure I don't feel any lumpy lumps. Feels great. Whoop. And let's go ahead and take a picture. And then we're going to load the other design. We could load both of them at once, or we could do one at a time, whatever we want to do. Camera, scan. have brought that down and then been able to also do the, this feels thick on top. The ones on the top, I had room. Like I could have done those as well, but oh well. Okay, here we go. Here's my first scan. And I'm going to make my contrast a little bit darker. And let's go ahead and close. And bring this down here. And remember, I just want the design. I'm not worried about the red box. So I'm going to squeeze it in a little bit. Okay. Size. And you know what? I'm just going to do this option. Because that's going to redigitize and it'll swing it to the original orientation and size. So, okay. Rotate. Size. And it's really the turquoise or the green of the design that I'm worried about. And I'm okay if he's a little bit bigger up into the zipper part. So I'm going to just make him one click bigger. Okay. Rotate. I'm looking down here. I'm going to squeeze it in a little bit.
Yeah, they're $5.79. And the reason I recommend this is
I'm squeezing him. Wait, was he going, hang on. I feel like he's sizing proportionally right now. And I don't know why he's doing that. Something going on here? Okay, I'm just going to do it this way because I feel like for some reason I was squeezing in and he was squeezing this way. Oh, you know what it is? Okay, this is what's going on. So really my orientation, sorry about that. My orientation is, I'm going to reset it. My orientation is up and down. So when I flipped it, the orientation, like if I want this to get skinnier, but I flip it, okay. Let me see if I'm explaining this to you right. I'm going to go ahead and if I size and I squeeze in, he's squeezing in and I squeeze out. You guys see that? Squeeze in and squeeze out. When I flip it, I'm still going to be squeezing in and squeezing out, but it's going to be the opposite direction. That's what's going on. Sorry. Whoops. Return. Okay, edit, size, because that's what I want to do. I'm going to size this way, and I'm going to rotate him. I'm moving him down. So when I go back to my edit and size, and I think I'm squeezing it this way, which would be this. What I'm really doing is I'm squeezing it left to right because it does it from whatever orientation it came in. That's all. So I'm going to squeeze and you're going to see it squeezing down. Even though I'm going in this way, he's thinking that he's doing this orientation. So you got to wrap your brain around that. And I think I probably did a horrible job explaining that. But, and I know better, so I don't know why I wasn't getting it in my head. I'm stretching it this way, but he used to be this way. I'm going to rotate him a little bit. And I think I'm good this way. Now I want to squeeze him in. Okay, I want to squeeze in. And it looks like I want to squeeze in here to squeeze in, but it's really this one because I've changed the orientation. So I'm going to squeeze in this way. Okay, and I'm good with that. I'm going to go with that. Hopefully that's not too confusing. You got to do the opposite of the, so if this you want to squeeze in and it's this button that squeezes in, but you rotated it, you're going to do the one above it. So if I want to stretch them out, this is my button that looks like it's going to stretch it out, but you have to do the one above it because the orientation was upright. So it keeps that orientation. I know it makes it confusing, but that's all that is. I'm going to go ahead and stitch this out. So I'm going to say, okay, embroidery. I'm going to go to stitch number 1. And I'm okay with it being a little bit outside. I just don't want this to come onto this line. Hello, Bart and Trish. Good to see you guys in Florida. Let me grab this. Needle down, needle up. Reach under the foot. Grab it and stitch. Grab your little extra hand, your little pokey guy, so you're not reaching it. Whoops! Did you see that? Guess what I didn't do? I didn't skip all the nonsense. I'll rip that out later. We're going to skip all this nonsense. All we want to do is the quilting stitch. So I can either touch in this. I'm still in the orange. Go forward. You want to see your quilting stitch. That's all we're doing. All right. Better. I'm going to rip this out later. I won't make you endure that. Here we go. Ooh, that one made me think. I would have preferred that my quilting stitch on the left went all the way to the edge or off. So I'll trim this the tiniest bit. It's like maybe less than 1/4 of an inch. Like here, where it's perfectly on the edge, that's good. I'd rather have it like that. Hopefully that one wasn't too confusing for you. With the pushing and pulling when you rotate. Bart and Trish, Trish and Bart. Haha. Yeah, thank you, Betsy. I wasn't reading. I know. Betsy, you would save me. I think I need a helpline. You need to call this store and be the helpline. You can be like, tell Jeannie to start with the quilting. Tell Jeannie she can't do design snap with the machines with the camera. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like this better than something that, like, I like something that's, like, more symmetrical when I have a busy design. I feel like it looks better. Oh, 85-degree weather. Isn't that nice? I'm going to watch down here because I don't want this to go into my red. And I might just stop with that line. There's no reason I have to do the other little part, but we'll see where it's stitching out. Oh my God, it's so cute. The wave is so cute. Oh, it's perfect. All right, that's perfect. I like it. It looks so good. I am going to have to rip off that side part, but that's okay. Is that like so adorable? I should have just chose, I wasn't paying attention to see if there was a horizontal or vertical design. So maybe that was my issue too. All right, we're going to put in the design that goes on the very top. So I'm going to say okay here. I'm going to say okay to this, and I'm going to return to go to my main edit screen. And then guess what? We don't have to scan again. I can just bring that scan back. So it'll bring back the last scan that you did. So just save us a little time. I could easily hit scan again, but there's my scan. And I'm going to load a design that's going to go right there on the very top. How would you stretch the quilting to the left? I would have stretched and then moved. Like maybe stretch one click and then moved one click to the left. Probably would have done that. That's all. So you can't just stretch on one side. So it would have been a stretch, which really would have been a stretch this way since we turned our design, and then a move to the left. All right, let's close that. We just brought back our original scan, and I am going to go, I'm going to add and then get rid of this. So let's add, going to go back here. And why don't we do, from my USB, and I'm pulling from my red, white, and bloom, we can do, plaid would look great on that. Plaid, chain link. I think I'm going to do plaid. Or let's do plaid. And I think it was 3x10 was the design size that we used the template, and 3x10 was the best one. So 2x8, 4x10. We should have it. No, there's no. Okay, I don't have a, so let's just choose a different size. Should we go 4x10? Let's do 4x10 and we'll have it stitch into the white area. So I'm going to go 4x10 and let's go ahead and set. And remember, because I'm swinging it, it's the opposite when we go to stretch this way or this way, we're going to stretch this way. So I'm going to get rid of this design now too. Now we're just going to work with this one. Edit, rotate, move them up. And I'm going to have it cover the green flower as well as some of the white so it doesn't totally distort and squash too much. So let's go ahead and say okay, size. And remember, because it was brought in tall, I want to squish it down. So here's my squish down, but I have to do this one because it came in the opposite direction. And I want to squish it in like this a little bit, which is this button right here, pull in. So I'm going to do this one. Pull in. Oh, let's move them over. How is that? I'm going to actually pull out. I want to pull out. That's pull out. So I have to do the opposite one. If you rotate, I just want I want that line to be a little bit outside to make sure I capture the whole thing. And I do want to squeeze in more. Guess what? Because it won't let me squeeze in anymore. With this option, because that's 20%, I have to do this option. When you do this option, it's going to say we're going to reset to the original size and angle. Just say okay to it. So it brings it back. But now I can squeeze in a little bit more, and that's what I need to do. So once we've done that, now I can rotate, move them up, and we're going to have to repeat that. I'm okay with it being a little outside, and I'm looking at the blue plaid is what I'm looking at. Now I want to size it, and I want to pinch it. Since I want to pinch it this way, you got to do the opposite because it came in vertically. And he's going to be a little bit squished, but I don't want it to go into this part. So, and I don't want it to go into the top part. I can't tell if it's on the, there we go. That looks okay on the top. I'm going to move him up. Oh, there he is. I'm going to go edit, rotate. It's a little hard to see because this is like a light yellow. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I don't want to be stitching into this. I'm okay if I go a little bit outside on the left and right. I don't want to be stitching into this yellow part. I'm going to watch it when it gets over there. But I'm going to go, okay. We're going to go embroidery. we're going to skip all the nonsense. So I'm going to skip all of that. We got to go down here where you go forward and backward stitches. And I'm going to just touch in the orange because I don't want to overshoot. And then this goes forward to the next step. That goes back to the previous. And now I see the plaid and I know that's what we're going to be stitching. All right, let's go for it. I am going to be watching it just to make sure it doesn't go into the iron part. I don't want that to be in there. I'm going to cut all these icky threads. Let's get these out of the way. And then all we'll have left to do are these up here. We're going to do 4 of those. Okay, needle down. I'm way outside my embroidery field. That's okay. Or not my embroidery field, but outside of the pretty part of the panel. That's okay because we're going to just cut that off. But with that, I want it a little bit further in. And I'm going to be watching here because I don't want it to go into this part of my panel. See how we did? How are you guys doing? Oh, we're perfect. That's good. Just like that. I'm not into this. I'm not into this. I can be a little bit over. It's perfect. Should you use the top right button that changes the hole? Okay, we're going to answer that. I'm not quite sure I understand first, but okay. Did not have enough thread. Hang on. Let me go ahead and wind a little bit. Should I use the top right button? You're not going to see me winding a bobbin because you don't need to see that. We were so close. Did that hold? I don't think it did. Oh, he was not all the way down. That was it. I'm going to wind a little bit of my bobbin. The top right button. Is there a smaller size that you could make bigger? Yeah, well, I mean, there was a 2x10 and then there was the 4x10. So, you know, it would have either been split it one way, like go 1 inch bigger or 1 inch smaller. So I just chose because we had all of this room here. So I just chose the 4. Okay. And then we're going to talk about the button that if I should have chosen a different button, because I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, but we're going to figure it out. Oop. I'm going to pull it back. I go path of least resistance, and this one, oh, you know what I didn't do? Which is unusual for me. I didn't cut it. All right. Here we go. Let me put this on my lap. Fluff your fabric. Make sure nothing's turned under. We're so close. The last thing you want to do is stitch something down that you don't want to stitch down. And did I already go back 10 stitches? I don't think I did, but I'm going to go back 10. I think I already did. That's okay. Going back 20 is fine too. And then Betsy, what button were you talking about? Use the button. It's the one that reset. Oh, yeah, we did do that. We had to. I tried to get away with not doing it that time, but I went ahead and did it. Yes, the redigitizing we did. it goes up and over, woo, you got to be careful here. Or if you were to go off the edge because your foot can scoop, on the left side, it's not so much a big deal. It's a big deal on the right side. That's where you can make a big old mess. Where it'll make you say things you didn't even know you knew how to say. So this one we went ahead and we did, these are the stars, super cute, the waves, and then that one's the plaid on the top. So you can spend as much time or as little time. We could do edge to edge on this whole thing if you wanted, but I really like the custom quilting when you have squares that you can drop your design into. Okay, after we do this, we're gonna do those, some of the tops. And then we are done. I will unleash you on the world. I think I'm going to do the middle ones. On the other one, I did these, the 4 right there. I think I'm going to just go right in the middle. Do 2 blues, 2 pinks. Doesn't that plaid look so good? So beautiful. Okay. All right. I'm going to put this up. Last hooping. Here, we can swing it too. Why not give ourselves the most amount of room? Bigger the hoop, more room you have. Get it all nice and flat and taut. Taut, not tight. Cut these threads that are hanging out. Oh my God, looks so good. Love it. Okay, you have some built-in 2x4s. So, where's my bookie book? So I don't have to go looking too hard for them. We'll do the triple stitch one. If you want to do the single stitch, you can do the single stitch one. It'll be good to have this printed out and you can just keep it. So one of them is in this folder. So if you are on, let's go home. Let's go embroidery. And I'm going to go right here. And one of them is in quilt 2. Was it this little guy? Let me see how big he is. Yeah, so I did this one. So we're going to do that one. Do you have it up too high so you can't do 2 blue? Maybe if I can't do it, then I'll just do 3 pink. It might be a little too high. We'll see. We'll see when I do the scan what's there. But you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to do this one first. And then let's do a scan. So scan. Whoops. Whoops. Trigger happy. Scan. Yeah, he might be outside of my embroidery field. If he is, then I'll just do 1 blue and 3 pink. Let's see what we got. So we were able to fit quite a bit. So there's 5 in there. So do whichever one you want. I could do a yellow. I could do 1 yellow, 2 pink, and 1 blue. Why don't we do that? So I'm going to take this and put them up here. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. Let me bring my contrast down a little bit. Let's hit close. So I'm going to rotate. It looks like he needs to be rotated. Couple. Too much. I feel like 0.1 is like 1 degree and this is more like 3 degrees or something like that. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, let's size. And oh, you know what? That looks like I'm going to have to squeeze him down quite a bit, more than 20%. So this is what I should have done first. Do your sizing first because it's going to revert to the original size and orientation. So I'm going to touch this and now we're going to have to start back at square one, but that's okay. It's a good reminder. So let's go ahead and bring him up. Let's squeeze him in. And we're doing the regular squeeze because he didn't come in vertically. And let's go okay, rotate. Okay, now that we've done that, you don't have to do it again. We can just go ahead and, oh, sorry you weren't seeing all the buttons. I'm just going to say okay. This is make a copy. Make a copy. He's already sized. We just have to move him. Maybe we have to rotate him a little bit. I'm going to put him right on this one. So I'm going to do 2 with this design. And then it's easier than starting from scratch, right? Bringing in the design and having to resize him. And my fabric is fabric, so maybe I might have to rotate him a little bit, but that looks good. So I'm just going to bring him in just like that. Then we're going to go say okay, and let's bring in another design. I am going to add, because this design is going to be different. Let's go here. I think he's in the original quilt folder. Let's see. It was this one. Was it that one? I think it was that one. I've never done that one. Oh, I think it was this. Where's my thing? Let me look at it really quickly. It was it that one? The butterfly, yeah, let's do this one. So I'm in the first folder. So the heart and then quilt, and then I'm going to do this one. This one right here. This is it. 015. 015. Go ahead and put that in. Set. Okay, we learned from the last time. Go edit, and we're going to go to size, and we're going to choose this option, which redigitizes. Because if you don't, then you're going to have to go back to it and start all over again. And just hold this down equidistantly. Let's just hold it down first. And now let's move it, and then we'll do our fine-tune sizing. And we could have taken it and just turned it and sized it for this and not cared about the middle. Does that make sense? We could make it big and then just do 2 of these at a time. Should we do that? Let's do that because that sounds like fun. Okay. Okay. Rotate. We're going to size it for this, and you're going to be cutting off a little bit of it, but that's okay. Oh yeah, that was the equidistant button. Okay, remember, I turned it from the original orientation. So now if I want to stretch, which is this button to stretch, I have to do this one. And now if I want to squish it, which is this button, I have to do this one. Because the orientation in which it came in. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you. Edit, rotate. So now we're doing 2 at a time. Oop. I'm going to go ahead and okay. Size. I'm going to squeeze it in 1 and squeeze it up 1. So squeezing in 1, because I changed the orientation, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to squeeze him. I'm going to leave it like that. Well, maybe I'll squeeze him in one more time. Perfect. That looks good to me. How's that? Fun? All right, let's say okay. And let's go ahead and stitch. And I'll just let it cut and let's just bring it up for the very first one. So we're going to go here, stitch number 1. We can pay attention to the cuts and the stops if you want. And this is 5 minutes of stitching. I am going to run to the ladies' room. I'll be right back, and then we're going to be done. We'll pull it out and take a look. All right, it's calling for a color change. So I'm just going to go ahead. Let's see. That is stitch number 1. Needle down, needle up, reach underneath, start. I have been not able to see out of my right eye all day. And I went into the bathroom and I was like, oh, I have like a big dog lick on my glasses. I was like, what's going on with my right eye? Okay, clean. Now I'll be able to see better. And snip those threads while you're waiting. Snip them. Silly me. I needed my Patrick. He's my eyeglass cleaner. Ah, these are so cute. They're great. I don't know if I did the triple stitch one. I can't remember which one that was. Maybe I didn't do it. These are all single. Singles. How'd we do? Did any of you stitch with me today? I'm hoping some of you stitched. Anyone stitch, and how'd you do? Okay, we have the last one where I doubled up. And we could have just done one big one to cover the whole thing too, if you wanted. Just showing you have options, right? Sometimes I need to be reminded. Sometimes I need to be reminded to think outside the box and go, okay, what else could I do with this? Oh, this is the triple stitch. Here we go. You guys can see it. This video will automatically go up on YouTube. So you can just go to our page and just look for Quilting with Built-in Designs. Thought I added Zippy Bag, but it'll automatically be there. We'll add it to our website as well. I know. I'm helpless. Did you stitch, Anna? Were you guys stitching? Who was stitching? Was I stitching by myself? Like dancing in the dark? Me, myself, and I. Well, hopefully you were working on something. Oh no, 2 weeks. Oh, I know. You know what, Liz? There's times where I do a class and I learn one thing and I'm like, oh, it was worth it for that one thing. So So I think it's worth it just to know that redigitizing button, because that'll save you from having to buy designs in different sizes. You can blow it up, you can double it in size, and you can have it in size. And that's a big deal to be able to do that on your machine. Hi, Miss Cora. Cora, we have a package here for you. It's been sitting here. I think with your, I think it has your panel and your power cord. But I think there was a balance, so call the store. I'll have Patrick call you. Did this teach you, like show you that you have a bunch of really cool designs built into the machine too? I think that is really important. So I wanted you guys to explore that a little bit. Because to be honest with you, I had never really explored. This was the most exploration I've done. And I was like so impressed with everything, especially I was really specifically looking at quilting designs, but I was super impressed with all the built-in quilting designs. Very cute. Okay, don't forget to get it quilted. Miss Sandra, quilt it, girl. So you can be ready for Michelle. Oh, that button is like one of the best buttons. Like it really is. Because who wants to just be limited to 20% up and down? If you want that, just get like basic machine, right? You want to be able to blow it up and blow it down as much as you want. So that's it, guys. Let me go. We're going to come over here really quickly so I can give you hugs and kisses and say goodbye. So I'm going to put this over here. Look at the mess. Who did that? That was me. I know. It was me. Let me go ahead and put this away really quickly. So things that you might want to get. Clear blue tiles for the designs and for the templates that help you plan it out. It's nice to lay this down and like plan it out and go, okay, this is the size that I want to get. And it's a good project. And then I think we have this on sale on the website. If not, if you want to purchase the clear blue tile set, just put it in there and say 20% off, please, and we'll do 20% off your clear blue tiles. So we can do that for you. If you want to get the hoops, if you want to get a 10.5 by 16 or the 9.5 by 14 or even the big one, I think I have the big one on sale. They're normally, I want to say they're $319.99, and then we'll do it for $229.99. We'll do that sale price for you. So, and then this is what you should have done. So once you have this done, then we're going to send you, again, it's going to take us a little while just because I thought I had gotten all this stuff, but I didn't. And I have to get a couple more things for your goodie bag to do this class. It is going to be a paid for class with Michelle, and you're going to be doing Zippy Bags Reimagined. And you can, I mean, if you're done with it, you can just take it and do the traditional way, but this is going to be Zippy Bags Reimagined with Michelle. I think she's limiting it to 20 people, and then you can get the recording afterwards if you can't fit into the class. And if you want to purchase the snap hoops, do it on the website. I am sold out of the 10.5 by 16 right now. I'm sold out, but I have them on order. So we're just waiting for those to come in. I don't know how long it's going to take. It could be a week. It could be 2 weeks. So just be patient. Just know you're getting a good discount. It's going to be worth it. Is there any other questions? Well, I'm so happy, Miss Linda. I'm happy you were able to make it and join us. That was fun. It was super, super fun class. If you have any questions, just reach out. Video will go up. And if you want any of the product from today's class, just order it online and say live feed discount. We'll give you some discounts to go along with it. And next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing edge to edge. Here This is the other side of the panel. These are the big bags. All right. And I have it, it's folded in half, but these are the big bags. And we're going to be doing edge to edge using the template and using the 10.5 by 16 inch hoop. You can also do it with a 9.5 by 14 inch hoop as well. But we're going to be using the template and doing the whole thing. Normally what you do is you would do a row of A and then you would do a row of B. So it looks like true edge to edge that you would do on a long arm, that a quilter would do on a long arm quilt, but it's seamless. And I'm going to show you how to do the joins, how to do your W plus foot or the W plus button. I'm looking for if I can find a join. And I normally wouldn't do all A's, but you're not going to notice on this. And this again is going to get cut apart, and then it's not going to be a quilt. It's going to get cut apart unless you could practice on a quilt. And then it's going to be made into zippy bags. So it works to do just all the A's. And that's going to be next Wednesday. And I did add a couple of spots to that. All right, guys. Hope you had fun. Thank you so much for stitching with me. I'll see you at the store. If you have any questions, just reach out. And we'll see you later. Bye, guys. How do you... Are you okay?